Is there live audio? Yes. Made it. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Phew. I think Mercury is still in retrograde. If today is any indication, it should be. I got back from the gym. Everything should have been kind of set and ready to go because I knew we would be back a little bit where my time was tight. And then, of course, the setup I had eaten crap. So out we went. You could tell I was rushing around fixing stuff because I'm still wearing my gym attire. This is currently what I work out in. I think it's appropriate. I think it works, right? It's good. You know, it fits. It's my Kaza Gross say my computer totally shut down on me last night. Yeah, there's a lot of that happen. And yes, for those of you that aren't noticing, there are minor little changes in the environment that I've created. I created a little visual nest for the little cup situation and fixed the background a little bit to just kind of gussy up the place. I've been working on a little bit of I had a whole new setup, and then I was like, this is just too bright and ridiculous for where we currently are. So I went back to kind of start from scratch and came up with something I think is, it's subtle, kind of got some nice elements to it. If you noticed during the startup screen, there's some changes. Hopefully this will survive because the software I'm using, for whatever reason, one computer is fine with it. The other has wholly rejected it. Fingers crossed. We'll see. But I'm not gonna stop tweaking this show until it looks like my face is everywhere. Like you're driving through downtown Baghdad mid Saddam Hussein. I mean, I think that's apparently the only way you can make it in this business. If other radio and streamer behavior is any indication, a lot of these folks spend a lot of time plastering their faces. I thought I had an ego about looking at myself. And level 2 hype train already on Twitch. Welcome everybody who's on Facebook. Welcome everybody who's on YouTube as well. Hello, tubers. Is that wrong? Because tubing's kind of become a bad phrase. You don't want to tube in your Zooms. I'm just saying, don't tube in anybody. Don't get your tube out at any given point. There's obviously a lot to cover today. There is, God help us, I'll just show you right now. Hold on, and I think it should work. Notice how, by the way, there's a little box up in the corner that houses the little, that lets us right by my head right here. I made that for that's not just a part of the display. I added that later to give you guys, because it seemed like overlaying it looked like crap to me. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of love in that way and put it, I was nesting is basically what I was doing. Let's be completely honest. I was nesting. I was creating a nest for us. I was flying around, pulling pieces of shoestring and thatch out so we could make ourselves. This is my Valentine's gift to all you guys. Is me spending some time going, I love these guys, but my house looks like crap. So I started, ticking away at it and making things a little bit better, including one of the things where, if you'll notice, I can move stuff around, but the frame stays the same. That's a nice little touch. And again, part of this is just quit it. Part of it is just the aggravation of these folks, I was trying to drag this down so I could show you just how terrible it can be. But the aggravation, of watching all these other sites, and going, hey, you guys have all this money and you don't spend it on making anything look better? What's wrong with you people? I don't get it. Hold on. Let me try to take this and squeeze it back down. But the point was, I wanted to show you guys, why is this? Oh, I see. That's why. But I'm still, I'm not firing on all cylinders today because I had to slapdash this computer into my makeup. And the way the thing is set up is that if I go to my commentary window, if I touch the top of my browser to the top of the screen, it automatically opens it to full screen. It's like, relax yourself, Chrome, simmer down. I don't need full screen. I've got screens aplenty. Also, we have some really bizarre, and Can't Stop Lying, love you, man, and thank you for, you and I were, we were absolutely in sync in looking at this garbage. L. Lynn Wood, some little footage of him hanging out with, apparently, while they were having their house party, the cops were called and just decided to hang in there. There were videos, basically these are from his Telegram page. Vice had a couple of them up. I had already found them on these other sites. And on Telegram, unlike a lot of these other sites, you can download this garbage, which is in and of itself embarrassing. Like if you're going to put stuff on Parler or on Gab or whatever, like it operates like Twitch or Twitter or YouTube even, where downloading it to your desktop is a pain in the ass. Anything you put on Telegram literally has a download click right next to it because it's basically for people who text back and forth, so you're allowed to keep it. It's the stupidest thing. So anything these idiots post that isn't just a link, like if they post a video, you could download the whole damn thing. This is ridiculous. I have like this one, hello. And dude, wear more eyeliner. Christ almighty. Like, I thought I was gothy. Like, here's another one. This one's a little one. I don't know why it's small. We'll have to drag it out and make it larger. But this kind of nonsense, like he posted all these things like a lunatic. And it's somebody interviewing him. And then he posted the interviews. We'll get to that in a minute. I want to touch base with the right side media really just having a hard time these days. They're celebrating Trump's gathering. Woof. This is people got together down near Mar-a-Lago and Trump drove by and said hi. He didn't say hi. He drove by and he waved. He didn't wave. He just drove by. All right, fine. And I can't, unfortunately, I can't play a lot of this because they're playing music nonstop. But there are almost as many people, this happens a lot within almost any gathering these days, there are almost as many professional videographers at the Trump, remember when you used to be president, bruh? Gathering, we're like, I knew we'd be able to use these flags again. I pried these, I had to dive down 35 feet. Oh, look, this dude's talking, hold on. Oh, it's these guys. Well, that wasn't good. Good signal.
We're excited. Thank you for joining us today on Right Side Broadcasting. As Philip just told you, we are here in West Palm, just a few miles down the road from Mar-a-Lago, where President Trump...
a safe smell distance.
He's been there since the 20th. Guys, I got to tell you, there is a tremendous crowd out here.
Tremendous. Fabulous. There's not a tremendous video signal, but a tremendous, yeah.
As far as the country...
seriously, it's a mess. We'll fast forward because they interview some people and people are like, he's coming. Is that him? No, that's a garbage truck. It's him. Look, it's it's a Mike Lindell bus. Look, let's take pictures of him. Gee, good Lord. I'm with hair. Get it? Because it's like instead of I'm with her, he's wearing an I'm with hair. Oh, God. And the irony that he's covering up, and he's wearing American flag pants, pajamas. All aboard the Trump train. Promises me Trump is kept. Dude, I wrapped this damn thing. We're going to drive it around. Whoobity-doo. Whoobity-doo. Oh, it's Lauren Boebert. Just jazzercising. I didn't realize he was the Prancer-sized president. This is, yeah. What? And sorry.
And I want to give a special shout out to Vanessa Sims, who organized a bunch of these flags that have been passed out.
Really? You organized the flags? Why would you need that if it was a spontaneous gathering?
We made a bunch of these little flags that we have been handed out. If we can get a camera shot on one of those sooner or later.
Yeah, she paid for this?
We appreciate it. Here comes my group. We're going to see if we can get an interview with
Here comes my group. We're going to see if we can get an interview with them. Jesus.
Thank you, Joseph, for driving that big rig down here from Central Florida. Thank you, Cheryl, for helping us support this and to put
All the way down from Central Florida to West Palm.
these gentlemen on that bus for creating this event.
Thank you. We made it. Looks like a tour group.
Just getting off of that bus here. This is from Central Florida. The people that basically organized
It's weird. It doesn't look like people who normally get off a bus in Central Florida.
with tweeting out. I talked about it a lot on my YouTube channel.
Good for you.
And RSB and getting behind it really is what brought it to life and made it grow into this giant crowd we have out here today.
So it wouldn't have happened if you guys hadn't actually staged it, is what you're saying? You handed out props, you bussed people in, you tried to make this look like something it isn't.
Second now, sham impeachment. Now, what the left wants to call this, they call this a cult. They say this is
Yeah, no. This isn't a cult. I would like to say for the record, that's rude. That's not a cult, dude. This is the AstroTurf version of a cult. This is Scientology paying people to wear the shirt.
focal point of their attention.
There's a cult. Yeah, they're definitely a Trump cult. This ain't it, though.
Tim, nobody wants to talk about Biden.
Where's the slots in my $50 voucher, right?
Even what they believe in, they stand out here and celebrate the greatest president we've ever seen. Or the other side
Wait a minute. Where are the Obama flags? I don't see them.
is focus of Trump and what they say that he did.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I mean, the
It's so amazing. I can stand here holding my own cord.
president, and I've seen the mainstream media networks tweeting about Trump going to play golf as a private citizen. They pay more attention to Trump as a private citizen than they do to President Biden, who's sitting in the Oval Office. And
Oh, wait. He's sitting in the Oval Office? I thought it was a set. Excuse me. We're going to hear from Lynn Wood in a minute. And I'll have you know that Biden is not in the Oval Office, okay? He is in a set, a fake Oval Office created by Jeff Bezos at Amazon Prime Theater Group movie studios.
Where are you from?
I'm from here. From West Palm.
Yeah, what brings you out here today?
I'm from here.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about him being the greatest president ever?
In a span of about a month and a half, he secured peace treaties between Israel and 3 different Arab countries, which is unprecedented.
That's amazing. And all he had to do was give them $50 billion worth of weapons each.
Proud as an American.
They're playing Twisted Sister. I'm gonna get like, even I want to do these interviews, but then I'm gonna get hit with like a copyright thing.
Tough one because I can't really foresee a better future. I just see it down. We need president.
That's the spirit. Without Trump, America sucks.
Maybe he'll run again in 4 years. What do you think?
Oh, he will, and I
No, he won't.
cheer him on and vote for him and have all my 9 kids vote for him.
All my 9 kids vote for him.
You guys hear the people just laying on their horns out here?
Yeah, you guys in the street?
It's nothing but a peaceful movement. I mean, I saw a lot of the comments, not the majority, but a lot of the comments under the post saying that this event was going to take place is a lot of people said, oh, this is violent. There's going to be Antifa infiltrators. This is MAGA country, okay? That's not a thing. That's not going to happen down here. Right? We're talking about a peaceful movement that's open to anybody. Anybody that wants to join this movement can.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like it's full.
Yes, and say that
This is an empty club that's paying for extras to stand in a line outside.
hate us because they hate us. Because
Truth is, we need people.
happening.
I've got 3 extra flags right in my hand. They gave them to me to pass out. These Trump 2020 things, we paid for these, and we can only write them off if we hand them out.
That's why they hate us, because we have something that they don't, and it makes them jealous, Mike.
it seems like
What do we have? Well, you don't have a sitting president. That's one thing you don't have.
And get Biden in there. Why can't they be happy about that? Why are they still
I am very happy.
like, you guys are idiots for doing this?
Well, that both can be true. I'm very happy Biden is president. I'm also concerned that you guys are idiots.
They can't make this movement stop. They want us to submit.
No, I don't. I don't want you to submit. I want you to keep going because, quite frankly, this is fodder for my channel. This is like America's Funniest Home Videos praying that kids stop hitting their dads in the nuts with baseball bats.
They began the Impeach 45 movement. That's what they were focused on. That's what they've been focused on for the past now 5.5 years. Even after he left the White House, the focus is still on him.
Of course, and
Well, his crimes lasted past his time in office, but yeah.
a very loyal right side viewer for contributing these flags. Vanessa, thank you very much.
Yeah, she had a lot of them sitting around in her well-armored basement.
It's all thanks to you. So,
It is.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much for these leftover Trump 2020 flags.
Right Side Broadcasting Network, we appreciate your support.
Yeah.
And it is worth mentioning right now that Right Side Broadcasting Network is viewer supported.
Yeah, okay. So am I. So this dude, I'll just let him do an ad for me. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, give a thumbs up to the program and stuff. We've just hit 17,000 subscribers, even though we do long form stuff on there. And of course, don't forget patreon.com/HalSparks. And don't forget, you can bits and super chat during this whole thing. And at no time am I going to pass out Biden 2020 flags in 2024 if somebody else is president.
Contributions that you buy there on My Pillow. So thanks, Mike Lindell.
Oh my God, they went straight into a My Pillow ad. Jesus Christ. Well, he is. I mean, it is the My Pillow network. It's basically an infomercial.
How far did you come?
20 miles.
These people have come from all over the basically town.
In the mainstream media across the board that Trump hates women. And you guys, your shirt says, "I'm a Trump girl." What do you have to say to that?
Trump loves us, and we love him.
Trump doesn't hate anyone.
That's right.
What?
One he hates.
Except liars and cheaters.
Yes.
There's a lot of those. There's a lot of liars and cheaters.
But enough about the about Mike Lindell.
But there is a constant mainstream media message that Trump hates people, that Trump hates this group or that group, and it's just not true.
No, it's not true. He loves us all, everyone. But this is not a cult. Trump loves everyone. Sometimes he loves you more than you love yourself. He loves, of course, he loves women. He so loves them, and the Lord did so love the women that he grabbed them by the vagina. Trump 316.
We have folks here. They came all the way from Ohio to get here today. So thank you so much for coming here today. Share us, share us a little bit about like what your journey was.
Yeah, we did moving down here.
Foggy and snow didn't disappear until I got out of Tennessee, so it's going to be bad going home.
We've been here, and we just want to tell people that Trump was done wrong. You know, there was lots of
Trump was done wrong.
we're here to support him. We want to be our president from 2024. We're ready.
We are ready, man.
We're
Come
so
on.
ready. I think they're going to do the Star Spangled Banner right now. So let's go ahead and make our way over there.
Yeah, let's make our way over there. We don't want to miss this.
Camera.
All right, everybody, you will not hear this out of this rally because they hate America. Let's be frank. So let's do it, everybody.
Excuse me. A lot of leftists can't sing and know better than to sing the Star Spangled Banner because they want to disrespect it. Won't be a problem here. Bye.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's edge, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
Yeah, get that on. Make sure you're filming it. Duck. Dude, you can't see him. What are you shooting? Turn to the right. He's right there. He's over there. Turn. I'm gonna do. This guy is awesome. Thank you for coming on down to Star Spangled Chevy Ford Lincoln Dealer. Grrr! on to that note for a little while. Prove through the night that my velvet was still there.
Prove through the night that a flag was still there. Whoa, say, does that stop?
Is it? Why are you doing it Elvis style? Whoa, say, does that star burn? Honestly, it's not. It's oh, not whoa. Whoa, say.
Spangled banner its way.
All right, he checked out a couple of. He seriously, is this Florida's youngest Elvis impersonator?
For the land of the free and the home
He is. He's straight up doing Elvis. Of their brave. Brave. Seriously, the humming right before the big consonants is straight up Elvis. Elvis has left the parking lot.
Very much, everybody. God bless the United States of America, and God bless President Donald Trump. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let me tell you what, I'm glad to be here. I've sat down with Donald Trump. I've had a peanut butter and banana sandwich with him. I've snorted a rail of Adderall and Pervitin with him. It's a fantastic afternoon. Say. Let's hear it for Matt's. Okay, what is this? POYB. These are the patches you're going to show up. This guy is loaded with patches. Got a thin blue line. If you're a police officer, I would steer clear of that guy. He's wearing a thin blue line patch, which of course means he will beat you with a flagpole if you come anywhere near him.
You just saw it right there. Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, we just saw it. I'm impressed. He noticed it. He knew almost all the words and sang them almost all the way through.
Being played in West Palm Beach. He did
Okay, I don't need any more of this nonsense. Like, I want to see their interviews. Oh my God, look who showed up, and his Florida colors. What's his name? Who?
Every weekend over there.
Come on, you can't hit me with all these stupid songs. Stop playing stuff in the background. You're playing "That's the Way I Like It." Jesus. Okay, it's this part of it, and this has got to be their page slowly linking. That's always fun, is when these don't link up. Let's go straight to the fun part, actually, because let me jump this up real quick. Boink. There we go. Look who it is. Diamond and Silk. Able to turn up the video volume. I turned it down a little bit, so hopefully it'll be loud enough on this one. We'll check.
Diamond.
Well,
That's pretty loud. Diamond O' Diamond. Is that really her name? Diamond O' Diamond?
hey y'all, welcome to Diamond and Silk, the podcast where your host Diamond and Silk oh Silk.
Diamond O' Diamond.
Well, before we get started, I want you all to stop right now, and I want
Their name is Diamond O' Diamond and Silk O' Silk. Is that what we're supposed to? First name Diamond, last name Diamond, middle name Diamond.
want you to subscribe to this podcast so each time we drop a new episode, you will receive notification.
Yeah.
And don't forget about our book, Uprising.
Yeah, I'll skip the book. You got an interview on today, don't you? Isn't there somebody to be interviewed?
And so
yep, there she is. Hold on. It does not jump around. Hold on.
Trump. I still call him my president.
All right, we'll get to this in a second. Good God, that's loud in my ears. Why?
Welcome to the show. Excuse me, Congresswoman Marjorie.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
What did you call her? Lady Pants. Did you call her Super Karen?
And thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be on your show. I have been longtime fans of both of you, and I'm so proud always of the work that you do.
You've been longtime fans? I guess you're a fan of each of them separately? You know their early stuff? Sorry, I'm confused.
And the voice that you give to millions of Americans that aren't seen and heard, and how much support you've given to our great president that we love so much, President Trump. I still call him my president.
Well, yeah, because you're laboring under the delusion that he's March 4th, he's going to be the 19th president of the United States. Cue a moron.
He will always be our president.
Yes.
He will always be our president.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So if he writes a note to somebody, they're going to behave as if it's an edict of law. They're going to violate federal statutes if he's written something
I don't
else.
see him as gone.
No.
I just don't.
You don't see him as gone? Considering he's no longer president, he's still alive.
But we miss him so much.
When you play the video, Twitch is freezing up, is it? Of the other stuff? It might be the audio that was in there.
Do you see what I'm saying? We miss him so much.
Yeah, we miss that strength.
Right. Because right now what we
Yeah, it might have been the background music, Can't Stop Lying.
seeing is a lot of weakness.
Weakness.
So let's get into this conversation.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's get into it.
Okay, so you're up there. You're really fighting for the American people, the concerns that we have. You're letting them know about those concerns, and all of a sudden they want to deem you as a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, conspiracy theorist. Theorista. Is a
Yes.
What your thoughts? What's going through your mind?
Well, you see, I'm the type of person that normally doesn't ever run for Congress. I'm very much.
Yeah, most people who run for Congress haven't openly cheated on their husband with a tantric sex guru at their gym. I mean, if you're just playing the percentages, I mean, it's okay. I think we need more people like that,
Ordinary American, just a regular American woman. I love our country, and I love being.
Which country is that? I would appreciate it if you guys would actually say America.
An American woman. I really want to say that.
Yeah, just because you're an American woman doesn't mean you can't love Russia. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird.
Wife. We've been married almost 25 years. I'm a very proud mom of my 3 kids, and that's the greatest accomplishment of my lifetime. And
yeah, again, it's nice to hear you don't get points for that.
And I'm a successful business owner.
By all measure, BTK Killer was a fairly decent dad.
But just like you and millions of Americans like us, I just got fed up. I got so sick and tired of everything.
Just everything, George Soros and the multinational Jewish cabal. And I got so tired of pedivores. You know what I mean? Everywhere you look.
It really started for me when all we heard on the news was Trump-Russia collusion conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. And we all knew that wasn't true.
No, you didn't. You wanted it to not be true, and you denied that it was. And it is. It still is. It is.
And it was easy for us to see through the lies. But that's all we saw on television. And then the president that we all voted for. And I'm like many of you, I really support President Trump and always did from the beginning, because he was the first candidate, first politician that I could relate to.
Really? Ladies, if you're ever around Marjorie Taylor Greene, you might want to cover your crotch. I'm just saying.
As a normal person.
Yeah, normal. Most people have 3 trophy wives. Most people have 27 sexual assault allegations against them. Most people attack all 27 of them as base liars and never actually show up for a deposition about those things. Most people grew up with their, a second generation rich kid making $300,000 a year when they're 12.
Out to me as not being that polished politician.
The polished politician. But all right. Well.
And so I just from there started getting involved in politics.
And by getting involved in politics, what she meant was QAnon chat rooms.
I really had not been before. I was busy working and living my life and being a mom and, had a...
And then I was like, wait a second. Maybe there is a big Jew cabal of pedivores. Maybe, I don't know. I got to check this out. I got a little free time.
I have a great...
In between knocking boots with my trainer in front of my husband.
Life. And
Congresswoman, do you know that you remind us of our President Donald J. Trump?
That's right.
and you remind us of us.
Yes, you're both not naturally blonde. You're both.
Yes, like, you will go toe to toe, and you don't care who knows it.
That's right.
And that's what we love about you, because
Yeah.
we need a fighter up there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I thought you need a deal maker, but again, you got to be careful, Diamond and Silk, or the Republicans are going to play video of you saying "fight" over and over.
Okay, so they taking you off of your committees.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
Well,
You're just going to do a one-person committees. Look, and Silk is not having it. They did not take you off committees.
I think what happened is when I got to Congress, they recognized very quickly that I wouldn't step in line. And I got there saying out loud to everyone, I really don't care what the media has to say about me. I really don't care what they think. I don't care how.
I really don't care what the facts are. I really don't care what legislation we're working on. I don't care what reality is. I don't care that a bunch of children were shot at Sandy Hook and at Parkland and at other locations. I mean, I really don't care if the media says those parents are really grieving human beings. It was important to me to stand up for what I believed in, which is that they were just dolls with squibs in them, and that those parents are crisis actors.
How many times they report something I posted on Facebook or something I liked, that doesn't define me.
No, it doesn't define you. It labels you. You wore it as a label. It's like going into a bumper sticker store, picking all the bumper stickers that you agree with, slapping them on your body, and walking out buck naked covered in bumper stickers and going, what is written on these? While I agreed with it when I bought them at the time, does not define me as a person.
And all of my family and friends know it's not true, and my district knows it's not true.
No, your district is now finding out that it is true, and your family and friends absolutely know it's true. Either that or you were just a liar for years. If it isn't true, that's not necessarily good. Yeah, you know that stuff I posted for years, and that stuff that I liked and boosted and and tried to elevate in my feed. I didn't buy any of that shit. I was just fronting.
So it was easy for me to keep that mindset to say, I'm not here to make friends in Washington. I'm not here to become part of the political elites and join.
No, you're there to represent your district. All of your district, even the people who didn't vote for you, which even though it was you won the majority, it wasn't an overwhelming majority. And then you're not. If you're found to be a liar, you're supposed to be an adult. You are also part of your job description is that if you get busted while you're in there, ethically, you either resign or have a mea culpa or tell people that was you before, it's not you now, and you're actually going to change your behavior, or people will know you from that. That doesn't make you an elite. That makes you a human.
In the country club and the cocktail parties, so to speak, I'm really there for a job, and we're losing our country, and we're losing it faster than ever before. And so,
well, you mean elections? You're losing elections faster.
So I got attacked. I think I got a tiny taste of what President Trump has been through for the past 4 years. Mm-hmm. And I have to.
Wait a minute. You got to just stick your tongue in every woman's mouth, whether they wanted it or not. I hope you tic-tacked before you.
Tell you, it's real. The media is addicting people to hate. What they do.
The media is. That's totally true. Tell us about love, Marjorie. Marjorie, Diamond Silk. I mean, I can't be doing all the heavy lifting, but just being charming and silly about this stuff and not really giving you guys the weight and concern that other people do. Show me how the media is addicted to hate.
They find something about you, something you've done wrong, something you've said wrong.
Yeah, like people who buried their toddlers were lying. Little shit like that. That you ran as a family values Christian conservative and you were cucking your husband for years. Little things. Like you believed that the Parkland teens were faking it. And that their Jewish space lasers started the wildfires.
Little things.
Little things.
And they'll chop it up and take one little piece.
Not me. Hey, kids, if anybody gets to call bullshit on this line, it's my crowd. It's us. It's we who gather here, because I play all of this bullshit all the way through. I don't cut and paste, and I don't chop stuff up. I interject. But you can always watch the whole goddamn thing uninterrupted and see if I'm wrong.
And then they'll create their own story and image about you, and that's what they sell to the world. Well, what you think?
That's what you sell to the world. What the fuck do you think social media is for? That's what it is. Social media is you selling you to the world by what you like and what you boost and what you say. That is you telling the world. It's a branding exercise these days, especially people who run a business or are running for office. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? They slice you up and sell a version of you. These are your posts. This is what you said was important. These aren't just things that you just like rubber stamped and moved on. She filmed videos about QAnon. What are you talking about?
Happened to me is the same thing that could happen to
anybody who does 5-minute videos twice a week on how pedivores have infiltrated the FBI. Get the fuck out of here.
Regular average American that decides.
The average American who's just working a job, doing their thing or whatever, and the news is going to drop in on you like a hammer.
Decides to run and gets elected, they're going to knock us down because here's.
I'm sorry. Oh, nice. Thank you. Look at that. We got some merches. Yeah, the average person who just tries to run for office is going to get what? Vetted?
The deal. We aren't them, and we aren't willing to bend to what they want us to do.
It's a representative government, dummy. Everybody looks at you because even if you get in, they're gonna have concerns about how you're able to run the place, what you're gonna do when you're in there.
All of us, we're there to fight for our country, and that's what I'm there. I'm there to stand up and fight for everyday Americans, our jobs, our kids.
I might have to make the square a little bigger so everybody can see what gets bought or whatever, because my head is blocking it. I'll figure it.
Millions of children that aren't in school right now, their lives are being destroyed. Our borders are wide open, and I mean, I know too many angel parents that have lost their children to illegal alien murders. And
what? You, by the way, you're going to call Parkland and Sandy Hook and all the other school shootings we've had false flags, pretend that those parents are faking, and then you're going to drop some sort of bomb that illegal aliens are the main source of murder in this country?
And our great freedoms, our freedom of speech, we are being canceled faster than you can even blink. It's happening. Yeah,
they blinked. Let's watch.
Way too fast, and I mean the list goes on and on.
Blink.
And you know it just as well as I do. But if we don't stand up, it's.
Diamond just does not blink. She's a sociopath, I guess. Like, they blinked a couple of times in the last little bit, and they haven't been canceled in that amount of time. They're live on Rumble. This goes out on their YouTube channel as well.
The Democrats, we know exactly who they are. We know what their plans are.
Yeah, they've got a platform. They behave within their ethical boundaries.
We know their policies. We know they're socialists. We know some of them are communists.
We know the Democrats are socialists. We know some of them are communists. But, it's the media that picks a little thing out of somebody and then just, it's all about hate. It's just hate. That's all they do.
But we also have a problem with Republicans like Adam Kinzinger.
Yes. We need to talk about the Republicans that are getting away with this stuff.
Like Liz Cheney and others.
Ugh, Liz Cheney. Don't get me started on blonde congresswomen. Sorry.
That hate the Trump part of the Republican Party.
Why? They just hate it? Why? Because they don't like how it dresses, or it's just kind of like a mean girl thing?
Which, newsflash for them, that is the party.
Right.
Yeah. Newsflash.
That's right. Congresswoman, that's what we keep saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of Liz Cheney that we became Republicans. It was.
No. It was, you guys, really? That wasn't the big sales point? No?
Because of Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, I know. We can tell from Silk's hair. We can tell from Silk's Dew that Trump was the guiding light. And look at the look on her face when they say that. Mm-hmm. That's right. Because it's not about the party, it's about the man. I got to tell you, like, a politician can motivate you to, get involved in politics. That's fine or whatever. But if they've convinced you to join their party and the party has a platform and an ideal set, and you're like, the party doesn't exist without that guy, you're not a Republican. You never were. Not really. It's just that it was low-hanging fruit. It was easy to take over.
And his policies and the things that he really wanted to do for this country.
Yeah, keep out the Mexicans who are obviously going to kill everybody, and something else.
We wanted an outsider. We wanted a businessman to.
Oh. An outsider and a businessman. Well, he's outside the business world. That works.
The whole system. Right. And that's what.
Change the whole system. You want to change the whole system. So that whole democratic republic stuff, you don't want any of that. You don't want rule of law. You wanted, okay, so we had a basically human democratic government right before he came into office, and you wanted to change the whole system to a kleptocracy matched with an oligarchy that followed the lead of Vladimir Putin. Yeah, I could see how he would be your dude.
What he did. Yeah. So not all of a sudden, this other
the rest of America
administration was selected in.
Selected in? You mean elected?
Right. And now we see our country going to,
straight to hell.
In a
Hold on, she's just not having it. Like, Silk is just done. She's like, this Biden shit is killing me. Hold on. I just need you guys to be able to see her.
A handbasket. Yeah. And you have Republicans that's not fighting.
Of course we're going to hell in a handbasket. Democrats are the party of Etsy. We're very crafty.
That's giving it away. Yeah. And this is what we don't understand is
this is going to be a long list. Okay.
Average Americans do that.
You're not average Americans, Diamond and Silk. You're not. You're not average Americans. You're not average amongst the political views of the black community. You're not average against the political views of the greater Republican Party, especially in their attitude towards black people. You are self-selecting sycophants to Donald Trump that were buoyed because they needed more black support. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is exactly the same thing. They're like, she and Boebert, they needed, females with sex appeal to get any attention in the Republican Party. You have to be attractive or on some level, or the Republicans aren't interested in running you for office.
They think we gonna remain Republicans? How are they going?
No, look at this. Look, she's just about to jump on that no. They think we're going to remain Republicans? This is this Marjorie Taylor Greene calling for the launch of the Patriot Party?
They'll convince us when they're giving our freedoms away.
Yeah. No,
The Republican Party gave your freedoms away? What freedoms are that?
You are saying the truth that they need to hear. They've got to open their ears and see it.
Yes, open your ears and see this, everyone. They got to open their ears and see this. I can't.
Open their eyes and see the truth.
Excuse me. It's open your ears and see this. Open your eyes and hear the truth. Oh, nice. Thanks very much.
Trying to tell them they are not listening. The GOP needs to hear the message loud and clear. The base, the large, huge majority of
what's left of the carcass of the Republican Party after years of Tea Party activists and psychopaths and stuff is slowly but surely becoming the party of Timothy McVeigh, and they need to fear us.
75 million Americans that voted for President Trump are completely devoted and loyal to President.
Biden has a 61% approval rating. 61%.
Trump in America.
Highest, he had 66%, which is the highest in history.
First policies. Yep. Do not want the rhinocrats. We don't want the
rhinocrats. Yes, please. By the way, I'm here for this. I am here for them fighting each other. I wish I had popcorn.
so-called Republicans that are embarrassed or think the Republican Party needs to move on and away from President Trump.
They do.
They don't.
He's not going to be running for office again. He's not your president. He's not actually defining any policy. It was a cult of personality, and now that the personality can't get reelected, you do need to move on. You need to, even if it means the next MAGA candidate, you're going to have to find that person. You're intending to be that person, Marge.
I don't seem to understand that President Trump got the most votes in history for any Republican president. They don't seem to understand.
It's so weird, and it's almost like mail-in voting benefited everybody, except that he lost. That Joe Biden got more votes than any candidate ever, any party.
Why? And it's because the people
showed up more for Joe Biden by double the number that Hillary Clinton beat him by.
People adore him. The people want Republicans to.
No, you adore him. The other people, a big portion of your party who you think are the rhinocrats, voted for him because he had an R on his jersey and they have an R on their jersey, and that's how they do it.
Fight for them. Yes. And that is the message the party needs to hear. And that's why going into 2022, I'm going to tell you something.
Uh-oh. Going into 2022, here it comes.
I don't know that Republicans will take back the House, and I keep saying this over and over. I hope we do, because we have to stop what's going on, but I really don't know that we will. It's because of the Adam Kinzinger, who started his own pack to attack me, people like Matt Gaetz, anyone that is strong.
Anyone that's going to start bifurcating the party out into the Patriot Party.
And fighting back with America First policies and is loyal to President Trump.
Loyal to President Trump. Honestly, that you couldn't even say loyal to the Constitution at this point. They can't even do that.
Yeah. That wing.
Diane, MTG looks like your sister. Is your sister a Q? Is it a genetic thing?
Of the party that may actually cost us from winning the majority
cost us from winning the majority. Oof.
The GOP needs to get with it and get with the party.
Yeah, you guys got to get down, get funky.
I often says that as long as there's corruption in the...
Is it my mic that's hot? I'm sorry. Oh, is it? Do I get carried away and then I'm way too loud? I beg your pardon. I'm going to bring it down a touch. Check it. That's a little better, hopefully.
The system, the swamp gets to pick and choose who they want in any position.
Well, hello. Now you're starting to make me like the swamp. What? The swamp gets to pick whoever they want in any position?
And it even goes back to this last election, 2020, when you take and you change the rules in the middle of the game to tilt the scale your way, and then you tell us to look the other way as if we never saw anything or seen anything.
I don't know what they're talking about. Seriously. Do they think the Republicans changed the rules on them and then they have to pretend they didn't see? Good God.
Now, for 4 years and $40 million wasted, they pushed Russia. Yeah. Russia.
The Mueller investigation made money. They seized funds that ultimately paid for the entire investigation. $58 million. If she's saying the price tag was 40, the Mueller investigation turned a profit of $18 million.
Russia, and only to come to find out the Democrats were the ones that was involved with all of this stuff. And here we
involved with all this stuff? You mean actually carrying out an investigation, but Rod Rosenstein wouldn't let them look into Trump's finances, which would provide motive.
See some illegalities, irregularities that
laws being broken.
But you want me to shut up to the
No, I want you to keep talking.
thievery that I see with my own four eyes. Okay, so and just to piggyback on something you said.
She just called herself Four Eyes because she wears glasses.
You mentioned how, if you do something wrong, how they'll come out. You don't have to do nothing wrong. If you're going against the status quo, if you're the one that's fighting against all of this tyranny that's going on.
This tyranny, yes. Maybe, just maybe, that when you lost an election, it wasn't tyranny. Maybe it was just a democracy not going your way. Maybe the whole idea that you're you're latching onto this concept of tyranny might be the problem why what you're posting sounds like violent insurrection.
And you want something different for your constituents.
Yeah, your constituents definitely want something different. Does she have? Do Diamond and Silk have constituencies?
And like you say, step in line, toe the line. They want you to be part of the good old boy syndrome, is what I call it.
Yes, it is. What is the good old boy syndrome? Is there a treatment? Is there a pill? What happened to him, doctor? I don't know. We believe he has good old boy syndrome. Oh my God, what's that? We're from the Northeast. How is this even possible? It happens. So you just find yourself going to like rodeos and wearing your hat on backwards and yelling yeehaw at inopportune moments. He's got good old boy syndrome. But I don't understand. He went to Yale. Well, why does he have a mullet?
And if you're not a part of that, they want to kick you out like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yes, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was completely shunned because of good old boy syndrome. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. Like, there was so many turns in that I was literally like, we're back where we started. I feel like we've taken 4 rights and ended up driving left. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? They want you to be a part of it so that you can go along with their foolishness,
right,
and you can do what they say. And you can't be bought and you can't be controlled, and that's what we love.
Yeah.
Oh, she can't be bought. I was like, they don't want you to be bought and controlled? Wait. She can't be bought and controlled is what they're saying. Okay.
I love that about you. Okay,
yeah.
so
she cannot be bought. She can, she can pay for sex, but she can't be bought.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you file articles of impeachment against Joe Biden?
Ish.
Yes, I did. Yes, I filed articles of impeachment on Joe Biden because he is guilty of abuse of power. We all know it. He knows it. Everybody knows it. That man, when he was vice president of the United States, abused his position, the powerful position of the vice presidency, to help his son, Hunter Biden. He's on camera threatening a certain prosecutor, saying that
he didn't threaten him. He was talking about how he did his job right. Oh my God. This is what they're going back to. The video of Biden going like, you need to get rid of that prosecutor, which the World Bank, the WTO, the European Union, Congress, Obama, his boss were like, we need to do this. And Biden's point man, so he's like, I'll call him. He's like, this guy's got to go. And they're like, oh, well, I'm going to call Obama. He's like, do it. What I'm doing is in line with what the president wants.
that he would withhold $1 billion to get this prosecutor fired.
It was loan guarantees.
Because that prosecutor, the Ukrainian prosecutor, was going after Hunter Biden.
No, he wasn't.
And then there is a pattern of behavior there with Joe Biden, the entire Biden crime family.
Okay, so now we're just going straight up Rudy Giuliani.
Look at him. Joe Biden himself, James Biden, his brother, and Hunter Biden. They're like a crime syndicate.
Are they?
They use their position, they use their influence, they use their power to make these business deals with foreign countries, their energy companies.
I've never heard anything like this.
They've done it in Ukraine. It's currently happening in China. Hunter is still an owner in that business in China. So you think about this is the most dangerous thing. We have
It's super dangerous, guys.
a president currently in place, Joe Biden, who everyone knows is not mentally astute.
Whoa, shots fired. So we're just totally playing the hits from the 2020 primary at this point. So you're just saying that he's got dementia. So he's a master criminal in charge of a giant crime syndicate, but he also can't tie his shoes without help.
Who is not strong. He's basically a puppet by his entire administration.
Well, then he's a victim of the crime family, not the leader of it.
And then he has his son that is willing to abuse his father's influence just so they can make money beyond their wildest dreams.
Well, I mean, obviously, not beyond their wildest dreams. Why is it that Biden's wildest dreams are a modest home in Delaware? Seriously, is a modest home in Delaware your wildest dream? Honestly, I'm guessing Trump's lifestyle is beyond Biden's wildest dreams because it's gross. You know what I mean? You have your wildest dreams and you're like, what's my line for my wildest dreams? Where it switches over from being a dream to a nightmare. You know, like I'd really like a big, I mean, it would be nice to live in Manhattan in a relatively large place. You know, like, my wildest dream would be like an entire floor in a Manhattan high rise where I have a view of the city and the park and that kind of stuff or whatever. But beyond my wildest dreams is gold furniture, gold comforters, mirrors everywhere, basically like this new money Coke castle. That's beyond my wildest dreams.
So absolutely, I did introduce articles of impeachment on.
Absolutely, I totally did. Not really. I just filed it. I didn't realize it was harder than I thought it
Joe
was.
Biden. And this is when the media lost their mind and the Democrats decided to do anything they could to stop me.
No, that's just ridiculous. We had a Democratic congressperson who filed impeachment articles about Trump early on that wasn't in line with the rest of the party, and everyone's like, go easy, buddy. Believe me, there'll be plenty of opportunity for that. And he jumped right at it and posted them. Nobody dove after him like, the right-wing media did. I guess Fox went crazy. They played clips of it repeatedly during this impeachment trial. They just vilified him.
Had me removed from my committees.
So what happened?
They had you removed from your committees not because you filed impeachment articles. They did it because you were calling for armed insurrection. You were walking out of there, the night before, calling on patriots to come to the Capitol, and you were lining yourself up with the violence that happened on the 6th. That's why. And then once everybody took a look at you for saying that shit, they went and realized, oh, you're a QAnon. And that's dangerous and psychotic. And then they found the videos where you said that Sandy Hook and Parkland were fake. And then they realized they'd put you on the education committee and the budget committee and went, yeah, that's a mistake.
What happens now since you've done that? How does it move up the ranks? What happens?
What happens?
Well, right now it's sitting over with the Judiciary Committee. Nothing is happening with it.
Nothing will.
So I'm hoping that we can give it some time because
just let it sit there. It'll grow like a tree.
I would love to see us take back the majority in 2022 and actually do something with it. But they are such hypocrites, extreme hypocrites. Look at the impeachment trial happening with President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
President Trump isn't even president right now.
Yeah, but he committed his offenses while he was in office, and
he is a private citizen, and they're running a circus in the Senate trial right now, doing anything they can do to smear his character.
Well, anything they do to smear his character, I mean, that's clearly not true. They're actually being fairly nice to him considering what actually happened. And they're doing anything they can. That statement, they keep repeating that phrase. Anything they do, they're willing to do anything. Really? I mean, I understand hyperbole, being what it is, but she genuinely believes this, that Democrats are just willing to do anything to get rid of Trump. Well, they weren't willing to call witnesses. So obviously they have a limit.
And stop him from running for president again in 2024 because they fear him more than anyone in this entire country. They fear him more than China. Yeah. They fear him more than Russia.
Well, because Russia and China are outside the country. And Russia and China can verbally attack our elections, and it really doesn't have an impact because they're a foreign voice, and people recognize that. But when you attack from within the country, that does more damage.
Yeah. They fear him more than Iran, who, by the way, is enriching uranium as we speak.
President Trump allowed them to do that. He got out of the Iran deal.
But they're obsessed with.
How much more character can Trump's character be? How much more besmirched can it be? Doesn't he live in this kind of a generalized besmirchedness? Yeah, none of us are afraid of Trump.
Hating Trump.
Wow. So let me just say
Wow.
this here. You know, with
You know.
with them, you know, hating
You know.
President Donald J. Trump.
You know.
I thought that Joe Biden got 81 million votes. So why
He did.
are they scared of President Trump running again?
Because he's going to lose again, but he will drum up this idea that he was cheated or that he lost, continuing to attack our democracy. He will lose by a bigger number next time, but he'll run entirely with the base of the Republican Party behind him on the premise that it's going to be a rigged election and that you can't trust American elections, and he will attack it again from the inside the entire time. He ran against the election itself more than he ran against Biden.
They're making it seem like that Joe.
I'm dead serious. Go back and look. We did all the rallies. He shit on the election process way more than he did on Biden as a person. He would just write Biden off all the time. But he attacked our elections nonstop.
Joe Biden, quote unquote, is supposed to be the most popular president according to
Yeah, he is.
the left-wing media.
The left-wing media, you know, like Fox's pollsters.
Even those on Fox News.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
Well, you know, that's a great logical common sense comment there. I'm not sure why CNN doesn't want to run with that and why they just don't feel the need to stop wasting our taxpayer dollars running this Senate trial. Because like you said, if Joe Biden is the
she did this visit, on Friday.
most popular president ever and got 81 million votes, then my goodness, why would they be afraid of Donald J. Trump?
Because he will run against our democracy, not for the presidency.
Well, I think.
And if he was able to, let's just say, by the way, there's nothing that says a former president can't run for governor of Florida if he just decides he likes the prestige of just being in office and he wants to control one of the states and be the next Rod Blagojevich. And by disqualifying him, you don't just disqualify him from running for office, you keep him from getting government contracts. And we already know, because he spent 300 plus years of presidential salary just golfing, that of course he shouldn't be allowed to have government contracts. He can't be trusted with national secrets.
I think we all know the clear answer there. And God, I'd love to see more about it, but we don't want to get your show canceled and talk about all that.
Okay.
Canceled?
Let me ask you another thing.
Please do.
There's military up there surrounding the place. I heard fences are up there with the razor wire. Okay, Marge. Congresswoman. We are concerned about that as average Americans.
Yeah, the average American can't understand why. Why do we have to have all these? What caused them to put up barriers around the Capitol? Never mind the fact that there were two people arrested, both armed, one with a BB gun, who said, "It's just a BB gun," when they started to approach, as if he wasn't going to use it to make people think he was armed. And the woman he was with had a loaded gun, multiple magazines, and a letter for Joe Biden. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the letter wasn't positive. It wasn't like, "I'm here armed to show you how great I think you did during the inauguration. I think it's fantastic that a man with a stutter fought all the people attacking him for having allegedly dementia because he has a stutter and made it to the White House. What a beautiful thing for all the people in the country who have a stutter, that somebody can move past that and ultimately raise themselves up to be president in the United States." I'm guessing that wasn't the content of the letter. It was probably a little closer to the Unabomber manifesto or the shit that was written by that dude in the van who sent the pipe bombs.
Because we don't know what's going on, and we feel like something is going on up on.
What's going on? Oh, please tell me that Diamond and Silk think that March 4th is actually going to happen, and that they think that the walls and the razor wire around the White House are because Trump's still president. Please tell me they've gone full Q.
Under our nose. Can you tell us anything?
Something's going on under our nose. They put up the walls and the security checkpoints around the Capitol, not because of the extreme violence, the attack on the Capitol that happened. The first time blood was spilled there in the name of a political insurrection since I think 93, but the first time ever that the Confederate flag was ever flown in the country's capital. They can't imagine why you would put checkpoints around that for the time being until some of this shit ratchets down. Meanwhile, by the way, she's still firing on it was a stolen election and Biden's the most corrupt person ever and that the rhinos are all bought and paid for and that the deep state, blah, blah, blah. All the people that the crazies want to kill is exactly who she's targeting. Like they're all three of them are sitting there painting targets on the backs of people in Congress and in the Senate. And then she's like, is something weird going on? Did they put those fences up just so we're not allowed to see, even though there's not a fence around C-SPAN, dumbass?
Think about that. What is that about?
What is it? What is it about? Could it possibly be?
Well, to me, it is, number one, no one agrees with the attack on the Capitol on January.
No.
None of us do. We have all.
No, they don't agree with it. It was totally underarmed and not what it was poorly constructed.
Said it's terrible.
Are you wearing a backpack or is that part of your shirt? It's part of my shirt.
We've all denounced it. Unlike AOC and Rashida Tlaib and the ladies that had to express their extreme outrage over the attack, they were not in the chamber when it happened. I was in there and I was terrified. It was very scary and people lost their lives that day. So it was a terrible day, but the hypocrisy is so disgusting.
What's the hypocrisy about it?
The American.
She's not asking you about last summer. They're going, why is there fences with razor wire around the Capitol right now? Is something else going on?
People have been through riots this entire year where their cities have burned, their businesses have burned, innocent Americans have been attacked and killed.
Right. One of them being George Floyd. These are incomparable situations. No one called for abject violence. And even the unrest is people walking in the street, yelling at all hours, having protests, having marches, not the looting and burning. But again, Boogaloo Boys show up, burn down some black businesses, then they can report on it. The right-wing echo chamber gets to facilitate it like over and over. It becomes a news cycle for them. They get to play it in their own defense of Trump.
Retired police officer David Dorn lost his life. I mean, this is...
Yeah, he was killed by a black looter. He's a black man. This is not something anybody called for. Nobody said, somebody needs to shoot these off-duty cops or retired cops who are guarding shoe stores. What are you talking about?
It's federal buildings.
Yeah,
federal buildings, right. Why are they putting fences around the federal buildings? What's going on? Are they moving the children out into the space laser?
Federal buildings attacked, statues torn down, police precincts taken over, police fighting these people night after night after night, without ever firing a bullet.
What?
Which is unbelievable to me. But yet,
because they were given riot gear and rubber bullets. There are people who are blinded by rubber bullets. This is the United States. We're not in Yemen.
Congress, the elites of the elites.
The elites of the elites. Jews.
When something bad happens to them, they erect a border wall around the entire Capitol and bring in 30,000 National Guard troops. But
it's the capital of the goddamn country. What are you talking about? The rest of the entire functioning United States government would not fall if a 6-block area of Seattle gets blocked off. What? It's the goddamn Capitol, you psychopath.
No one was willing to do that for the American people.
Yes, they were. What do you think the federal troops, the National Guard, the local police were doing?
Over this entire year, none of them were willing to do that.
None of them were willing to what?
None of them did.
Again, none of them, never, not ever, never. Like the hyperbole is hysterical.
Announce those riots, and they don't care to help them now because they're still going on in cities like Portland and Seattle and even Washington, D.C. just this past week. And so that's why I've started.
What was the big part of this past week?
Calling it the House of Hypocrites. And Nancy Pelosi is like the queen sitting up there with her gavel. She's the greatest hypocrite of them all because President Trump wanted 10,000 National Guard troops before the rally on January 6th, but was denied. But now look at them calling.
He was. No, he wasn't. He didn't request 10,000 National Guard troops for his own people.
And their great big military, making it like a military state and building their border wall. But, you know, the American...
Building their border wall, but now stroking, at a stroke of a pen, removing our border.
Yeah, we be stroking. The stroke of a pen, getting rid of our border wall. It's a temporary barrier. There's a difference. We do recognize that there was an emergency. They're still securing the Capitol. They have to do a bunch of stuff before this Capitol's secure in case they decide to take it down. And all those jackholes that were down that we just looked at in Florida decide all to drive to D.C. in one big lump sum in 3 months or 5 months going, we need to stop this. This is still March 4th is coming up. They know that's a date. They know it's a danger date. They're going to keep the barriers up until after then.
Wall for our protection as Americans.
It doesn't make
Right.
I mean,
it doesn't make sense.
Well, that's because you're not in danger from people coming across the border in general.
Another question that we keep hearing is that nobody is really in the White House. It's not functional.
Oh boy. What did I say? What did I just say? These assholes, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about that there's a fence around the Capitol because they're doing nefarious shit and that Biden's not actually at the White House. Biden's been at the White House since the 20th. His own wife just did decorations on the lawn. He walked coffee up to one of the, and they're going to play on this. Oh, good God.
So I'm going to ask you.
Is Biden in an Amazon production of the Oval Office?
Is the White House functional where they have staff, where things are being done, or is our country at a standstill?
What?
Well, I haven't been to the White House since Joe Biden has been there. I was there with President Trump this last month before he left, but
Leading up to the 6th, you mean, when you were coordinating with people? Oh, yeah. How did that work?
yeah, they seem to be functional because he's signing over 47 executive orders. He's like a Democrat tyrant. He's a tyrant.
Yeah, he's a total tyrant. It's 47 undoing Trump's things. Yeah, I'm sure you were clamoring about the tyranny of Donald Trump when he was signing away DACA.
Tyrannical leader. That's what
He's totally tyrannical.
have in place.
Yeah.
And the House.
Yeah, making budgetary decisions. I mean, like every tyrant moves in to make sure that LGBTQ people are protected in their job and makes his staff sign an ethics oath. What kind of, I mean, this is tyrannical.
Of hypocrites is the same thing. Do you know that this is why it doesn't hurt me at all being kicked off of my committees?
Because you weren't going to contribute and you didn't even know how they function?
Is nothing is happening with Republicans on committees. They don't.
Yeah, they don't do anything. They don't say anything. They can't be anything. They don't want anything. They don't know anything.
Talk to Republicans. They don't care what Republicans are saying. They don't care about our policies.
That I'm enjoying.
They don't care about amendments. They don't care anything about Republicans, Republican districts, or Republican voters. They only care about ramming through their socialist agenda, which is destroying this entire country faster than I think people realize. Wow.
Yeah, people don't even realize it because when they look around, they're like, oh, functioning government. This is actually working. Oh, these are the things that we voted for. People don't realize that's how deluded they are with 61% of the American people liking what Biden is doing, even if they didn't vote for him.
yeah.
The White House functional, yeah, it is, and it's scary.
But what about
It's scary.
our Constitution and the Declaration of Independence?
Right.
Yeah, yes. Talk to us about the Declaration of Independence.
Whenever our Constitution is broken and violated, who do we hold accountable?
And who protects the people?
The people, if our own government is fighting against the will of the people.
That's weird because Trump obviously lost the popular vote by 3 million votes in 2016 and lost by over 7 million votes this time around. But you didn't seem to have a concern that because of the Electoral College, he squeaked in there in 2016 and was able to, act as if he had a majority when he didn't. But he was working against the will of the people.
Well, that's where it's at right now. And I want to tell you that very line of thinking is why I ran for Congress, is I got to the point where I realized no matter what I say, no matter how many
things I post about the Sandy Hook kids being dolls filled with fake blood.
Congressmen or women's doors I knock on, or senators' doors I knock on, and I say, I'm a business.
No matter how many teenagers I follow around after they survived a shooting.
Business owner, I'm a taxpayer. Please don't vote for this, or please do this. No matter how many times I do that, it never mattered.
Because you were massively outnumbered because you were a lunatic? This is the lunatic fringe literally arguing for why they're not listened to in a democracy.
And the deep state or the swamp or those in control, they have their own plans, and the people's voice doesn't matter at all. And that's why I decided to run for Congress, is I said, well, you know what?
I live in a district where they'll elect any lunatic.
Nothing's going to change until regular people like me get in there. And then that's the only way we can make a difference. And you can see it took them 35 days to attack me. 35 days.
Well, it took you 35 days to literally file what you did. And basically, they didn't do any vetting. The reason you got elected is because you basically ran unopposed, and they didn't look. They just didn't care. They're like, oh, she seems like a Republican. She's a big Trump fan. We're a big Trump district. That should be fine. Who cares what she wrote on Facebook for years and that she still believes it?
Wow. I've been a member of Congress and got removed from my committees. But I tell you what we can do.
By Republicans.
The American people, and I don't condone violence, so please don't.
The American people are what? Not going to take it anymore?
Don't think I'm saying that. I don't want any violence,
But sometimes you gotta.
And I'll state it why. My kids are 23, 21, and 17. The last thing I ever want to see in America is a civil war. I never want to see that, because I fully believe
that my kids would be drafted. What are you talking about?
It would be my children involved in it. And I would never want them to have to do that. I don't want any of us to have to do that. Left, right, I don't care. But here's
But
what the American people need to remember.
Yeah, you better remember this. My family doesn't want to fight a civil war, but
you have all the control, okay? The American people pay the taxes. Nothing can happen without all that money.
That's right. And so basically Marjorie Taylor Greene's telling you not to pay your taxes to screw the Biden administration? Is that where we're going now? You're just going to sovereign citizen solutions? Or are you going to go, we need to have a voice on how that money is spent, like in committees? Oh, shit.
All of these kids that are being forced to stay home from school, guess what? Their tax dollars pay that school. Their tax dollars pay
those kids tax dollars?
Pay those teachers' salaries. And
why are red states taxing children?
Everyone involved salaries. When the American people are truly fed up and want to organize,
they're going to rise up and force kids back into a situation where it's not safe for the teachers or the staff. Screw the janitors and older teachers and people with comorbidities and all that kind of stuff in the middle of a pandemic. Look, we have to be able to force our kids back into school so we can go back to business because we think that whole thing is a lie.
And say, okay, we've had enough of this.
Yeah. You know what? I've had enough of the pandemic as well. Unfortunately, the pandemic doesn't agree with me.
The American people can change it. They can make a difference. And not ever by lifting a weapon or fighting or doing any kind of violence, but by showing up and saying, we pay the paycheck.
Yes.
Now it's not enough. Stop this immediately.
Yeah, but if you're outnumbered by people who also pay the paycheck, then clearly, all right.
And I hope I'd love to see kids and their parents going to school every day and showing up in the parking lot and say, we refuse to leave until you open the school.
That's a great idea. Yeah, especially in a winter storm right now. It's a great idea. If you live in the center of the country in the flyover states that apparently Democrats don't give a shit about, the Republicans want you to know that they really care about you. And the way they'd like to show you that is go to a school that's closed and stand in the parking lot and bang on the glass with your child acting like a lunatic, to give them a good view of what real democracy looks like.
I would love to see, all kinds of businesses just reopening and saying, enough of your shutdowns. You're killing our way of making a living, and you're killing our
you're killing our way of making money. If we want to kill our customers, That's up to us. And if our customers want to carry a disease out into the community because they don't give a rat's ass, that's up to them. And if people want to stand next to them, even though they're wearing a mask next to somebody who's coughing all over the place or bleeding out, or their manager at the store catches a disease because they work at a guy with a loading dock who eats at a restaurant where no one wears any masks and doesn't tell anybody, that's up to us.
Our freedoms, we're not going to tolerate you anymore.
You're not tolerating reality.
It's those kind of things that I think we're coming to a point. And again,
we're coming to a point where we have functioning government and they are actually coming up with a strategy to vaccinate enough people to where we will get a cross of herd immunity, a mix of people who've already had it, who won't get it again, people who've been vaccinated, and people who, because there's enough people who've been vaccinated and won't get it again, that there's a barrier between some people ever experiencing it, ever running into it again. Because you want 70% herd immunity if you want to fight off an infection that's coming and going, but there will be isolation aspects of the people that interact will have immunity to it, won't carry it, that kind of stuff at about 45%. But, you know, she wants to just jump right in there. I mean, honestly, it's killing black people and brown people faster. So why are we holding back?
Again, I say not with violence, but again, just saying, no, we the people. We the people.
Right.
Yeah, but we as in WEE, smaller group, minority rule is not how this works.
And Congresswoman, and when we say
we reserve the right as a majority to make decisions that even the minority, even though they're assholes about it, benefit from.
The people, it's not Republicans, it's not Democrats, it's us coming together as Americans, because what's going to happen,
unity.
It's going to impact and affect all of us.
Yeah.
When they start taking away our freedoms, what you're doing, they're doing this here thing with freedom of speech where you can't say what you want to. If not, you're taken down. Listen, those are freedoms.
Yeah, you have the freedom to do that all you want. Post your own shit on your own website. Do you know how many nutcase websites there are? Buy a URL. You guys are rich. Buy a URL and post whatever the shit you want.
It can happen to Republicans. It can happen to Democrats.
No, it'll happen mostly to Republicans because the Republican Party is now the remnants of QAnon and they're all crazy people.
So instead of picking a side, it's time for us all to get on the same side. This is about we the people. We the people. And I was telling Silk, I said, you know, I'm so tired of this bickering that's going on. Why do we have a two-party system?
Yeah.
Maybe we need to get rid of the two-party system.
Yeah, and get one party.
And just put people in places that's going to work for the American people.
Yeah, we need to just get rid of the Republican Party. We want to just put people in office. What?
Instead of fighting for us, they fighting each other.
Right, and it doesn't make any sense. It does.
What are you talking about? She was just discussing rhinos and the rhinocrats and how she needs to, they're not going to win back the House because they're going to be fighting amongst themselves. And you guys, what are you talking about?
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
What is that?
Moving forward, I know that we all have to come together. You know, we the people have issues when it comes to voter irregularities.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So my last question is,
how do you solve it? How do you do it? Okay, here we go. Let me guess. Go after the ES&S machines. Make sure that you use more Dominion machines because there was a paper trail and they stood up to every recount.
how do we clean that up? It has to be cleaned up. Maybe this is what they've done in the past and we've just never noticed it until this election.
Yeah, because you didn't vote until Trump and now you're voting and then you lost and you're like, oh shit, that's how democracy works? This sucks.
But we can't hide from it. How do we get this cleaned up? Where do we need to start with this?
That is the number one question that I'm being asked. I had 3 town
Yeah, that's 3 town halls and they go, how do we stop people from voting?
halls the week before last in my district. That was the number one question. It was asked over and over because
You mean the number one question asked by the kind of people who would show up to talk to you?
in Georgia, we not only lost President Trump's race, we also lost our 2 Republican Senate seats. And it's because our state leaders, they ran the exact same election on the runoff Senate race on January 5th as they ran on November 3rd. Exact same race. Yeah. Absentee ballots, as many as could be out there. Everything was.
Well, that was an interesting crossfade. What was that edit? Where'd they go? I didn't do that.
Exactly the same. Nothing changed. And guess what? We had lost President Trump on November 3rd, and then we lost our 2 Republican senators.
Did they cut out some of her shit so they wouldn't get taken down?
Part of why we lost our 2 Republican Senate seats is because people were angry, and they said they had rallied, they had begged, they had shown up, they had asked do something.
Stop these black people from voting.
Let us audit these machines. Don't send out any more of these absentee ballots.
Yeah, we shouldn't let people vote. They should make them show up and die.
We've got to make sure our integrity of our election is safe. They did nothing. They changed nothing. And
because they didn't have to. It was on the up and up. You just lost.
So 300,000 voters stayed home. 300,000 Republican voters said, we aren't voting. If that...
Why is that the Democrats' fault or the Republican leadership of Georgia? You're the one who talked them out of it.
That is not the biggest sign for...
That Republicans are no longer a party with an actual platform, but that they're just a cult of personality around Trump, and that they blew off the election after Trump left because they don't give a shit about the principles of being a Republican or even conservatism.
For Republican leaders or anybody to understand, we have a problem, people, then I don't know how they're ever going to get it. That is the biggest wake-up call to me.
Here's the biggest wake-up call to you. If Kasich had run, he'd have won. Sorry, most of the country is relatively in the middle, and the American people would take a younger guy who sounds kind of more middle of the road than the other guy that they believe is middle of the road, and the whole bullshit about Hunter Biden and all that nonsense never mattered and wouldn't matter. And there's a strong chance that if they'd have run a sensible Republican after Trump, they'd have dumped him and primaried him, they literally would have won crossover votes.
That they should see. I'll go back to being a taxpayer again. So I'm a business owner, and part of being a business owner, the number one thing that my dad always taught us as we were growing up is the customer is king. The customer is king.
Yeah. Voters aren't customers. Because you can't deny service. No shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service based on the amount of taxes you pay.
Yeah. And you can't run a good business and get repeat business. And if you aren't...
Or maybe she's talking about the Republican Party as a business, which it absolutely
treating
is.
Your customers like king. Well, the taxpayers and the citizens of this country are king. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody's identity. It doesn't have anything to do with anybody's politics. It doesn't have anything to do with their...
Yeah, it does, because you're talking about the majority of your customer base.
Gender pronouns or what kind of life they want to live, how they dress. Nothing, right. All that stuff matters. It's the fact that we're the citizens and the taxpayers. Well, the taxpayers pay for the voting machines. If the taxpayers want them audited and checked out, then the taxpayers should have that happen. The taxpayers also pay for every single person that works in the election offices.
No, they don't. A lot of them are volunteers.
Every single angle.
Because Republicans won't budget for elections.
If the taxpayers want these people to do their job better, then the taxpayers deserve that. So,
yeah, a random small group of psychotic voters does not get to open up our voting machines and show them to every hostile foreign power. Just because you lost the election doesn't mean Rudy Giuliani gets to hire a bunch of guys with zero security clearance who couldn't pass a security check even on a state level to go and look at the software and then pass it out to the world.
Again,
but where do the taxpayers go to?
Right, do we need to start?
The voting booth, and you lost, and you live with it, and then you vote next time.
Go ahead. Whenever
Well, apparently, you could vote, but 300,000 of you in Georgia alone stayed home because you're not taxpayers, you're Trump cultists.
Supreme Court won't even listen to the taxpayers.
They listened to you, and your argument sucked, so they sent you packing.
We need to start petitions and...
Am I going to do Looper again? That was so much fun. I will, Sasha. Thanks for asking. I agree. I like that far better than Cameo.
Get some of these people out of office. I mean, because this is ridiculous. And the sad thing is, you had Republicans.
Yep.
And,
oh my God. It's almost like they were following a doctrine other than whatever Trump says is truth.
And not following the law.
Yeah.
They were following the law. Trump is not the law.
Constitutional law.
Yeah.
No,
Cool, guys.
it's infuriating to me to hear about lawsuits being filed. Those lawsuits shouldn't be filed. If there's nothing to hide and the taxpayers want to see the machines audited.
All right. It costs taxpayer money to do all this shit. And randos wanting to file lawsuits, especially when it's other states filing against states that didn't go their way, is a waste of taxpayer dollars. That's why you have to pay for your own goddamn recount.
Then just do it.
If the campaign thinks they were cheated, they can pay for the recount.
It's very simple. No need to go to court.
No need to go to court.
No need to sue anybody. No need to upset anyone. Hey, here's the great news. If they audited all those machines, then guess what? If it comes out that Joe Biden got really 81 million votes,
he did.
The Democrats could be having parties out in the street and could say, ha, 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 we told you he won. And then Republicans would be like, okay, we can accept this and move on. You know, it would be.
Are you starting to get the idea why the Republicans wanted to float this idea that there was big theft, but also were against the idea of actually looking? Because they'd end up with egg on their faces, and they wouldn't just go, okay, we were wrong. They would look like assholes. But now, because they wouldn't allow it even in Georgia on their own, even though they did multiple recounts and Arizona did an audit, when they find out that it actually did go the way it said, that it was on the up and up, that it ultimately, these guys still run around with this idea that it was stolen if you don't allow it. If you allow it and they look, they're like, then you guys are so wrong. They allow this weird QAnon conspiracy to keep floating because if they look, they're going to go, yeah, not only did Trump lose, he lost Texas and Florida and Kentucky too.
The truth would be out there, and but leaking these questions is doesn't make any sense. It's not good customer service.
It's not good customer service. You taxpayers, you're not customers. All customers are created equal in the United States, if you want to look at it like a customer base, and they're not in business. Somebody who comes in and just sits there and doesn't order anything is taking up space from a customer who pays for stuff. And that's why they want to eject certain people. That's why when a Republican says we need a business person running the place, they want to be able to fire the poor. You're not pulling your weight. We need to get rid of you. We need to, full on scoop you up and put you in an asylum or in a prison cell or in a poorhouse or just get rid of you.
But I believe in accountability. And
since when?
Accountability is what we need in government. And the people of this country, there are 360 million Americans.
And 81 million of them beat your guy.
And if the people in this country stop saying, I'm too busy because I got to work.
Matt says, someone mentioned that Rudy Giuliani looks like Simon Bar Sinister from the cartoon Underdog, and I can't unsee it now.
Oh, I got to do this.
I'll have to look up a picture.
Oh, I'm not that kind of person. They got to stop being complacent. They have got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And
yeah, totally. That's the message from Marjorie Taylor Greene to all Republicans. Embrace the suck.
Again, not in a violent way. But
but right now.
Get involved. Get involved. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be ugly. You just have to show up.
So you're quitting?
And show up over and over and over again, because the people of this country can get what they want.
Well, maybe by not showing up over and over again, they are voting. They are making themselves heard. Those 300,000 voters who stayed home actually did make their voices heard, because if you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. You don't vote. You're saying, look, it's not going to go my way, and I can't bring myself to vote for them, but I'm going to allow it to happen because I don't like this guy, and I don't like who they're presenting. I don't like Loeffler. I don't like Perdue. I think they're criminals. I'm not ready to vote for a Democrat, but I'm going to stay home. That in and of itself is a choice, especially if you just voted in November. If you're a rando not voter, that's different. But we're talking about Republicans that voted in November for Trump, lost, and went, screw it. I was voting for Trump, not for a party. I don't really care about the Republicans. That's the choice they're making. They stayed home for a reason.
And demand accountability and demand good customer service. when they do it, when they decide to do it, I know.
Yes, 81 million people have demanded better customer service, and we asked to see the manager, and he got fired and replaced with a new
I
manager.
know it can happen.
But who do we demand it from? Who do we write the letters to?
Yourself.
Who do we make the phone calls to? Who?
Who? Yeah, call Marjorie Taylor Greene. Every Republican should just inundate Marjorie Taylor Greene's office at all hours with every complaint that they have, according to
Everyone that's elected. Everyone that is elected.
everyone that's elected. But, hi, is this the sheriff? Yeah. You were elected, right? Yeah, I'm an the sheriff is elected official in this county. Okay, what is up with the defense appropriation bill? Huh?
You tell all of them, every single one of them, and you say it over.
That's going to be busy. You're asking that. How about call your representative?
Over and over, and you
Oh, thanks. Stop lying.
never give up, and you never get down, and
Yeah, excuse me. I beg your pardon. I, for one, will be getting down quite a lot.
you just
Thank you, Ali O'Shur, for subscribing.
just hold on to that hope and the faith, and you just keep on going. And
Yeah, keep the faith in the rhinocrats who are probably going to lose the 2022, the mixed
just
messages.
never stop, and you build it, and you build it, and you add more people.
And they will come.
Look at what's happening in California
Build your tantric sex hut, and they will come.
with Gavin Newsom. They
Yeah.
have, how many signatures do they have?
Yeah.
They have.
I know it's over 1 million.
Yes.
So there's 40 million people in the state, dummy.
No, I think it's 1.5 million, but
Yeah.
they want to get 300,000 more just to have a cushion to make sure. Look
That they aren't fake.
at that. That is something that should give hope to people. Republicans in California know how they have to fight back, because look at California. And
What? Yeah. Jew space lasers blasting the entire, all the shrubbery.
Joe Biden and his administration
Oh, we're getting down.
wants to turn all of America into California. They say
He does?
California is their model for our country. So we should be, you know what? We should be calling up those Republicans that have that.
Yeah, they want California with 40 million people and the seventh largest or the eighth largest economy on the planet to be the model for America. We as Republicans really want Wyoming to be the model for America. You know, basically the population of a standard suburb and with almost no industry, kept afloat by military bases. That's the model.
That petition going around saying, what are you doing? How are you doing it? And take their lead and run with it in your county, in your city, in your state, everywhere you are, and just get to work.
You're giving them a lot of work, Marge.
And that's how you make change.
Okay, let me just ask you this one question, this last question, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hopefully it's your last question. I hope so.
I hear exactly what you are saying.
But I can't call everyone.
But what type of rules will govern we, the American people, to be able to even implement some type of petition to do a recall or to do some type of...
You're going to have to look it up. You're getting glazed donut eyes from Marge. She doesn't even know what state you're in.
Anything that's legal, of course, to get these people that's in government that we can clearly see that's working against us out.
Right.
How do we, what can we as the...
Here's what you can do. Show up for all your elections. Don't stay home in the number of like 300,000 voters when it's a squeaker election in Georgia.
American people
And then if you did, shut the fuck up.
do, because our livelihoods are being affected. People
Your livelihoods? What are you talking about? What livelihood?
living is being affected. Look at our children. They're not able to go back to school without...
Okay, I don't know if they actually have children. Do Diamond and Silk have children themselves, or are they speaking in the abstract?
somebody bickering, their way of learning is being affected. So what can we do, or what type of petition that's legal that we can implement to go ahead and get this party started?
Well,
Yeah, we want to get down.
you two have an incredible platform, and
Yeah, it's great. There's almost 977 rumbles on this. This has had 5,000 views. It's incredible.
and I hate even telling you to do more work because you're two people that have
That hate work.
worked your tails off. I've seen you do it, and it's
Yeah, it's crazy. You guys work so hard in those really nice chairs, talking into your laptop every day,
it is amazing, and I want more.
never improving the actual show technically. Like, honestly, for Christ's sake, how long have they been running this shit? And this is always the show. This is always it.
More people to do it.
You guys have worked so hard to have a show that looks like any Zoom meeting that's been uploaded to YouTube.
You have used your voice. You have built a platform. You've fought censorship. You know, I know you probably have a great email list. These are the tools that
Yeah, give me your email list. It's the same one the RNC has.
people need to use. And then they need to join together. And people need to
Jesus.
stop worrying about who's popular and who's got more followers and all
Yeah, who cares about who's popular in a democracy and what ideas catch on and are popular in a democracy? Nobody cares about that.
that stuff. Everybody just needs to come
That's old stuff from when like some reality TV guy was running for office.
together and get these petitions and get these movements started. That's how you get it going. And then you follow the guidelines. We will not be violent. We are not
Not anymore. That failed. Literally, come on. At this point, saying you're against violence after it happened, you sound like somebody who was busted for bank robbery standing in front of the judge. Your Honor, I think stealing money is terrible.
You're not the violent radical left.
Right.
Never we're doing that. We're going to stay the course. When I ran for Congress, I ran
for open carry on Capitol steps to remind people who the voters are.
8 men with incredible resumes, men I respect. And it was hard. But I won because I worked my tail off, and I got out there and I got in front of every person that I could get in front of. We have to be relentless. We have to just keep on going. And so the steps to follow is.
So 8 qualified men were wiped away by the fact that the Republican Party, in an effort to create tokenism, totally blew off the fact that you were a QAnon supporter because they thought you were photogenic compared to the other people who were running.
Okay, everyone. Number 1, we've had enough. So
yes, that's it. Write that on your chest and run around buck naked on the Capitol lawn.
Number 2, let's get to work.
We've had enough. Let's get to work. I mean, what better time than now after we lost a major election and didn't show up for the runoff?
Here, guess what's coming up very soon? It'll be here before
March 4th.
we know it. 2022 elections are coming around again. This is the time. This is the time to start getting very serious.
That's right. Diamond and Silk are going to run. They're going to run for co-seats. They're going to run for one representative. They're going to run together.
About telling who is in office. This is what I'm expecting of you. This is what I want.
We lost, so I'm expecting you to do what I say. And if you can't get what we want through after we lost, I'm going to primary you. Welcome to the Bernie bro.
From you. And if you are not following through on these things, I'm going to find someone else to support. And that means you.
That's a great strategy for 2022. Please stick to it. Ask the Obama administration how well that worked out when the left did the exact same thing.
Say it with your voice. You say it with your campaign donations.
Yeah.
You say it to their face in the email, on the phone calls.
You say it to their face in an email.
And standing outside their offices and let them know this is what.
Stand outside their offices. Please leave the comfort of your hotel suite. I don't know, wherever they do this show. Do they live together? They're always in the same spot. It's very odd. But do they rent this? It's a house or an apartment or something. Do they rent it just to do the show? Do they come there from the other side? Or is this just a room they share? I don't understand. But either way, yeah, okay.
What we expect. We're done. You know, we're done.
We're done. We're done with the Republican Party. We're done with taking it.
And the line has been drawn. We aren't doing this weak Republican Party anymore.
No, we're not. We're not doing the weak Republican thing anymore. And just write them emails saying you're not going to donate unless they act crazier and crazier.
We're a country, we're almost $30 trillion in debt. How ridiculous is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who had the first $1 trillion debt in American history? Oh, do you know? Do you know? It's a really simple question. Who doubled the deficit under Obama before the pandemic occurred? Who was the first person to double it after Obama before? Oh, God, come on. Let me answer. Can I?
It's insane.
This is crazy.
Well, I can't.
It's crazy.
I can tell you this, Congresswoman, that you're giving me a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
Why? Why? What she just described is the destruction of your party. Why would that give you hope? She just gave you a shit ton of abstract homework that isn't going to do anything. She's basically saying threaten Republicans to go crazier and crazier, or you're not going to support them, and you're going to, and as the rest of the country is clearly moving away from that nonsense.
Because I was despair. I was like, I don't know about the Republican Party no more.
Yeah. Now you know. Now you can boss them around and recall people.
But I like the way you're saying how we need to organize this.
Yeah, it's great. Organize, like, I don't know, like put a party together.
And really hold our governmental officials, especially our local governmental officials.
Yeah, the local ones. Go scream at the school board about the Defense Appropriation Act.
Accountable. And if you can't do what we the people want, because we pay your salary,
then yeah. Basically, she's arguing like what you need to do is yell at a cop, I pay your salary if they pull you over for speeding.
You're gonna have to step down.
Yeah, you can
We're gonna have to petition you up out of here.
Yeah.
So thank you for that tidbit of information. And
why is that a tidbit of information? What?
Listen, thank you so much for being with us, for sharing your ideas with us.
It's great, so good.
As we move forward, and you're right, 2022.
Good luck on committee.
Is going to be around the corner, and we can't still be sitting here bickering about 2020, even though.
Oh, you will.
We know some things gonna have to come to a head.
Yes.
And what I'm just saying.
Yes, right. We can't be bickering about 2022, and fighting amongst ourselves, but we got to talk about some shit.
Telling people to do is to pray that the truth will come to light, and
it did. Your prayers were answered. You just didn't like the answer.
Everything will be revealed.
Lord, please guide this country onto a more honest and path. Please support Donald Trump, and please support America and the Constitution and save everybody and do something well. You got it. I'm going to get rid of Trump. He's going to go golf. He needs to face the justice for the crimes he's done. Otherwise, his soul will always be burdened. And Joe Biden's a good Catholic. Have fun.
That's right.
But we still got to get prepared.
Always remember, we pray these prayers. We pray for truth to come out. We pray for the scales to fall off the eyes of those that are blinded to the truth. But while we're praying those things, we put one.
Yeah, that's you guys.
One foot in front of the other, and we put our hands and feet into action and into what we know that our Savior and our God wants.
So what I do is, while I'm waiting for I pray for guidance. But while I'm waiting for that guidance, I'm just going to proceed as if I know what the guidance is. And if the guidance shows up after the fact and goes, that's not what I was going to say you were supposed to do, then I'm not going to follow it. I'm just going to go, I've always been on the right path. Jesus Christ.
Wants us to do, because we can't just stay on our knees saying prayers. We also have to work, and we have to work hard.
Faith without works is nothing. Right. But never mind the fact that we could just go do stuff in the private sector, NGOs, and save lives and do good, whatever. We've got to get in there and make sure that that parents don't get family leave and kids don't get after school programs.
And so I just encourage everyone to do that. And
the Lord gave me guidance, and that's why I'm sitting here with a long rifle in the middle of the Capitol.
Never lose hope. Nothing's over. It just looks bad on the TV. I can tell you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Congresswoman. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, you all. Thank you so much for being with us. We love you so much, and keep fighting for us. We really appreciate that.
We do. Like all that you've done. Thanks for telling us how to lose our goddamn minds. Okay, so hold on one second. I'm going to bring up something. 303, 304, 301. Okay. Yeah, so this is in order. I'm going to try and bring these up. This is L. Lynn Wood. Now, if you don't know, L. Lynn Wood represented the kid who was in his defamation case, who filed a case against CNN, who was one of the Catholic school kids who was at the March for Life, who was in a verbal altercation with the Black Hebrew Israelites. They were both yelling at each other. Nathan Phillips, a Native American, shows up with a drum, starts beating the drum for peace, assumes, because it's white kids in MAGA hats and black people on one side, that it must be that the racial injustice that's happening here is clearly that the white kids are overstepping their bounds. Never mind the fact that the same group of Black Hebrew Israelites that were there ultimately were related to the Jews getting shot in Brooklyn. It's two groups of crazies. But his assumption was that it went that way. And videos went around this kid smirking and stopping. So he acted as a wall against this guy beating the drum and then became an asshole and blah, blah. Lynn Wood was one of his attorneys. That kid dropped him because of his behavior. Do you know what kind of an asshole you have to be for that kid and his family to drop you as legal representation? Criminy. Yeah. Yeah, he wears this hat all the time. And a lot of eyeliner and makeup. Let's see. Does this play in here? Hold on. Let's see if I can do this. Because I got to find a way to get the audio into this thing. Hold on. I'm going to make sure that this plays out the right way. Because I don't know if you guys can hear it. Nope. Hold on. Okay, you're only hearing it through my setup. Hold on one second. It's very curious on this. So let's see. Preferences window. How do you do? I'll do this right here. Hold on. I've had to rearrange one of the pieces of software that I use for audio routing died, which is fun. Here we go. Sound. Let's go out here. Let's go to the stream, perhaps. Cross the streams. Let's see. Maybe that'll do it. I don't want to see. Hold on. You might get a fine man. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Is that the wavelength thing? I don't want to do... hold on. I don't want to... Yeah, that'll double it up. Just fixing one thing, kids. Pardon me. Pardon me while I burst into flames. Let's see. Looking around. A little bit of computer finagling as we go along. Don't you know? Wavelength. There we go. We'll open this up. Hopefully, this will actually create an outlet. Wait, there we go. Preferences. There we go. Let's see, and I'll switch this on. Properties. Wavelength stream. Maybe that'll do it. Done. Check. This is always fun. Let's see. Mute that guy. Check. Okay. And then maybe, just maybe, if I do this, add QuickTime. There it is. Come on, you. There we go. This should actually, hopefully, do it. And if I can do that. Think. Okay, this should be all right. There we go. Elgato wave. Then we do the wavelength thing, and then we'll do that. Hold on. There we go. Check one. Okay. Hopefully this will work and you'll be able to hear the audio from this now. Yep, there it is. Okay, good. I didn't want it to be too loud. There we go. So this is Ellen Wood, and he's outside of a party at somebody's house. Yes, I was calling her Silt. Yes. We're always looking for, for puns about diamond and silk, so.
I met a fine man who is a whistleblower.
Very fine people on both sides.
And I've taken a lot of flack because of what the whistleblower's evidence is in terms of what it speaks to with respect to Chief Justice John Roberts, what it speaks to with respect to Hillary Clinton.
By the way, what it speaks to, what he's talking about there is, like crazy pedivore QAnon stuff.
What it speaks to with respect to Rod Rosenstein, and what it speaks to with respect to former Vice President Pence.
Yeah, so these are all the bad guys. Hillary Clinton, Pence, Rod Rosenstein, who, by the way, if Rod Rosenstein hadn't run interference for Trump, we'd have had his finances and how they relate to Russia, and he would have been in deep shit. Rod Rosenstein really threw himself on the grenade in spite of all this. And then, of course, Chief Justice John Roberts, a Republican appointee, is clearly the worst of the worst, according to this.
Yeah.
And yes, this is brand new. He just posted this on his own Telegram.
I don't make the accusations.
Yeah, why would I do that? I just say what I heard and wink a lot.
But I have come to know this gentleman.
We both get our eyebrows waxed at the same place.
I think it's
Seriously, the eyebrow waxing here is ridiculous.
across from the
Not to mention the Botox.
from him, you feel the same way. And one day, now that this state bar has filed this foolish lawsuit against me, I may bring him down and let him testify live, and people will see.
Uh-huh. Do that, please.
And then they can determine for themselves whether this whistleblower is telling the truth, and they'll investigate Roberts and Pence and Clinton and Rosenstein, and then
Yeah, that's what'll happen. The Georgia Bar Association.
know the truth. Either they're guilty or they're not. But we need
Either they're guilty or they're not. And what's the harm in slandering somebody good and hard in front of the Bar Association in an attempt to get out of simply just going in for a psychiatric examination?
to know. And his testimony.
Here you go. Go sit for the psychiatric examination that the Bar Association has asked you to sit for because you're a lunatic. And if we'll know if you're crazy or if you're not.
Credible to me.
Where's the harm?
Where he gave interviews 2 years ago. He was credible then. He's consistent. So I believe in him.
You mean he sticks to his lie?
The public has a right to know. And I turned that tape of the interview over to the United States Secret Service. So I put it in the hands of law enforcement.
And they laughed at it because they checked it out and it's lunacy.
It's an obligation on somebody's part to investigate the
They did.
whistleblower's evidence, because if it is true, and I find him credible,
Well, you found that haberdashery credible. You found your Botox person to be credible. You found that, eyebrow waxing place that you found online with their Yelp reviews credible and rolled in there and said, give me the Jack Torrance.
you've got some significant
Wendy, darling, light of my life, give me the bat.
problems in the highest court in this country with the Chief Justice.
Do you have any confidence anyone is doing anything with that evidence yet?
Do you have any confidence that they're doing anything with any of this evidence, is what the woman says. Hold on, I'm going to turn this up a little bit. I got to...
I believe there's a lot going on in this country that we're not seeing or hearing right now.
Well, yeah, but that's legally true all the time. Yes, there are cow shit throwing contests and games of cornhole that have turned violent. There are unlicensed liquor and strip clubs all throughout rural America. There are thousands upon thousands of poorly ventilated, if ventilated at all, indoor gun ranges that are leading to lead poisoning amongst thousands and thousands of Trump's greatest supporters. Have you ever heard of it? Not really. I believe there's lots of things we're not hearing right now as we stand out next to this siding in this bush.
I have faith in Donald Trump.
Before the Lord.
I have faith in the United States military, and more important, I have faith in God, and I believe that just what we read in the Bible, every lie will be revealed. So
you're in trouble, is what you're saying.
I got a lot of hope.
Yeah, every lie shall be revealed. As in, the reason I wear this hat is so you can't see the stitches. Every lie shall be revealed. And by the way, he had, hold on, let's go. That's 3, what was the number on that one? 3038. This is the next one, 3041, 3044. I want to do these in order from when he put them up there. 30, yeah, okay, here we go. So this is the next one. This one's fun. I'm assuming it is. I haven't watched these. You guys know I like to do these raw, but this is the next. Let me see if that brings that down to the lip of it where you can see. There you go. Cool.
Well, listen, I'd like to see them spread the word about what the State Bar of Georgia is doing.
Yeah, they're filing a giant injunction against you. You don't even live in Georgia. You live in South Carolina. You've committed voter fraud.
They've done it. I believe sometimes the devil acts, and he ends up, you find God turns it into a blessing in disguise.
So that's your motivation for all the actions you've taken.
Maybe
if I just lie enough and create enough chaos and destroy enough lives, then maybe the Lord will make lemonade.
Silly complaint of 16 or 1,700 pages that they filed against me.
Yeah, which they clearly not even bothered to type up. 1,600 to 1,700 pages in a complaint against you with the Bar Association. It's actually, and by the way, one of the things in there is this asshole doesn't even live in Georgia and he voted here in the last election.
They put in every lawsuit that Sidney Powell's filed and the 2 that I filed. So now you got one nice little bundle that tells the people that read
that this asshole repeatedly filed nuisance lawsuits, and if you want to read them, you don't have to go look elsewhere. We'll put them right here in front of you. This is the worst. Honest to God. This guy is saying that because they included the lawsuits he filed, that somehow that's doing him a favor. Instead of literally the Georgia Bar Association is going, okay, not only are we saying that he filed frivolous lawsuits that are full of lunacy and his sanity needs to be checked, but here they are, Your Honor. This is why, this is the Kraken. I swear to God, this is actually, the Georgia Bar Association has their own Kraken. And so, remember when Rudy Giuliani was like, we tried to put all this evidence in. We've been trying to do all this and they won't even let us. No, you just filed please have a court hearing for us so we can pretend that there's a real court hearing. We don't want to give you the evidence because if we give it to you, you'll throw it out. They go again. They act like Trump is a god. Oh, I think you meant to say God. It says good. That goes against the first commandment. Yeah, I mean, they're deifying him. Absolutely. He's a false prophet. It's old school. There's nothing, never meaning no harm. Right. So.
Truth is because the lawsuit complaints are chock full of the evidence of the.
Yeah, I know. And you notice how they're not afraid to show the evidence in court. They're not hiding from any of it. They're literally going, Your Honor, here's the whole case. We, as the legal profession in Georgia, have looked at the cases he's filed, and we're comfortable giving you the whole fucking thing.
That the courts so far have not reviewed.
Yes, they have. If they haven't reviewed them, then you didn't file them. They had to review them to dismiss them even.
That's another story for another day, why these...
It's a story because it's not true.
Courts have consistently not reviewed the fraud evidence.
Yes, they did.
The media turns around and says, oh, there's no fraud because the courts didn't find any.
They found some fraud. Like you voting in fucking Georgia when you live in South Carolina. Licensed to practice law in Georgia, says he lives in Georgia, doesn't live in Georgia. He's like the Josh Hawley of South Carolina.
Never looked at it. So
they did look at it. It was filed. And at this point, they're like, the courts didn't want to look at this, and they threw it out for standing. We're comfortable submitting it as part of ours because we are representatives of the quality of legal profession in Georgia, and we don't want this ambulance chasing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones wannabe in a chapeau running around here pretending to be a lawyer.
State Bar Georgia's clearly, to me, I've looked at the people on the disciplinary committee. This is a anti-Trump group. I've read.
Yeah, a bunch of Republicans.
State bar grievance committees in various places in the country have been weaponized.
Have they? Weaponized against people who are filing frivolous lawsuits?
Against Trump supporters. So, am I surprised? No. I got a lot of concerns about the state of the legal profession. I have had them for years.
I have my own concerns about the state of the legal profession, namely that you're a practicing lawyer. That they seem to be wanting to clean that part up. He's got bird shit on his right shoulder. I don't think so. I think you mean his left? That's a pin. I don't see bird shit, but maybe you're right. It's raining, so he might have some water on there.
Profession has lost its integrity.
It has? Well, you're a lawyer. That would be proof that it has integrity problems.
I don't have any Atticus Finches anymore. We need a lot of them.
So who will adjudicate this then? How does this play out? Hopefully.
I have to tell you, I've never had a disciplinary action brought against me in 43 years, so I don't really know the procedure.
Well, you're about to find out. Crash course!
I'll retain counsel, and they'll walk me through the process. But look, it's a simple situation. What they're saying is a lie.
All 1,700 pages of it? It's a pretty big, pretty thick lie.
They're distorting.
By the way, if you ever want to lie, folks, take a page out of somebody else's book. Don't follow this dude. Make them very limited in scope and stick to them. I wasn't there. That kind of shit.
And that's a lie. It's for an agenda. I think they're tied into Governor Kemp. I think
another anti-Trump Republican who is clearly under the spell of Stacey Abrams.
Tied into members of the judiciary in this state. I think that Georgia's
I gotta say for a second, it's always weird when the QAnon crowd always seem to be backing up like Epstein, and like Trump is literally friends with, he's got 4 pedophiles on speed dial, and yet the QAnon people think that he's the hero in all this story. It always strikes me as odd. And this dude just reeks of a Southern, like, eyes wide shut parties. Like he was wearing eye makeup the night before under his mask at some sort of weird bacchanal. You know what I mean? Am I wrong? I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying he reeks of it. Why do they always reek of it? You would think that they would have some people who don't just come off as, I just walked out of here, took off my Doc Forces robes, put on my hat to cover the fact where my crown sat. I've got mask hair right now, so I got to wear my hat.
One of the most, if not the most corrupt states in this country.
Yeah, Georgia's terrible. One of the most corrupt, if not the most corrupt state is Georgia. Why? Because Trump lost. It must be.
I've been peeling the layers of the onion off, and they don't like it.
Okay, so he's been peeling the layers off, and they don't like it. It seems to me that this fella is a sore loser.
Well, listen, God is hope.
Hope Hicks? Oh my God, she's been walking among us? Does she have the healing touch? I think that she does.
Your past life is a testimony, and your future is hope.
Huh? So your past is a tissue of lies, and your future is hoping not to get caught. I got you.
So if you give up hope, in effect, you're giving up on God. Don't give up on God. Don't.
What are you hoping for, though? If you're hoping to never be confronted with the sins that you've committed, that hope is false hope. It's based on you just not wanting to face your own sins.
Hope.
It's an eminence front.
And in the real world, don't give up on Trump. Trump's going.
In the real world, because God's not in the real world. God's in the fantasy world. Is that what you're saying? Jesus.
Trump them all.
That was okay. That was really just that one little clip. She managed to get another minute and 29 seconds out of him for this last little piece. God, this dude creeps me out. Seriously. Botox, eyebrows waxed, the eyeliner, the hat. There's a lot of imaging going on here for somebody who's supposed to be down home. Down home doesn't take this much fucking work. I just rolled in here to do my show from the gym. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not against wearing makeup at all. As a matter of fact, when I perform music, love doing it. Smoke dyes, semi-goth, love it. I'm a closet glam vestite. Not ashamed of that at all. But when your whole approach and what you're selling is, I'm the real deal. We're us folks down here, we're simple folk. We're not like these big city crazy people. We're simple folks. And then this happening. You know what I'm saying? This is not.
Ask you one last question,
Sure.
just because you're so passionate.
One last question, since you're so passionate, and the police are here to pick you up.
About child trafficking.
You're so passionate about child trafficking. I'm just going to say, ask the question like, you're so passionate about stopping child trafficking. Know what I mean? Just saying, if I was talking to somebody, and Nerd Halen, if I was talking to somebody, and I was trying to say that they, were a good person, I would say you're clearly, it's like saying, I know you're passionate about prostitution. You know what I mean? You go up to an anti-porn Christian activist and go, I know porn is very important to you. You know what I mean? Like the wording kind of matters.
Have you seen firsthand some of the evidence of it? People say.
Have you seen some of the evidence firsthand of child trafficking? Okay, first of all, firsthand being what it is, like we've all seen news reports about them busting people over the years, for decades, as long as the news has been covering it. But I'm curious to hear what kind of evidence he gets. I've looked at every single frame of some of that disgusting footage 3 or 4 times, and I can tell you.
Look at the pictures. They don't want to,
some people don't want to look at the pictures. They don't want to look at the video.
I've seen videos and photographs. I've talked to some people that are involved in it.
So, I know you're very passionate about child trafficking. Yes, I've looked at some of the videos and the pictures, and I've talked to some people who are involved in it.
Some of the people that work for me, one gentleman in particular is passionate to fight child sex trafficking.
Okay, at least he put the word fight in.
Military. The media's ignored it.
How has the media ignored it?
I think the same people that are controlling our country and the world.
Right. This is the Pettivore cabal story.
I think they're right.
Did he just say cabal? He did say cabal. Cabal. Come on, man. Hold on.
I think they're right in the middle of it. I think it's a money-making deal, and I think it's candidly a satanic ritual, a worship of the devil.
All right. So is it okay? There's a lot there to unpack. So it's a money-making deal. It's a satanic cabal. So are there simply money-making people, or is everybody who's involved in it satanic? Or do you have to have some sort of weird satanic blessing for your crop of children that you're selling? I mean, that's a lot for everybody to be involved in all these things. Like these giant, they have to be giant satanic churches. All right.
What they're doing to little children, selling, they say that you can make more money selling children than you can make if you're in the oil industry, buying and selling.
So where is the oil industry getting all their seed money from?
Now listen, this is about our humanity. If we don't take care of and protect the children, what does that tell us about our humanity?
Well, I would argue that yes, Parler is back, yes. But yeah, it's on a Russian website, but yeah, that's fun. Or a Russian server, rather. Yeah, total projection. This reeks of somebody who is literally hiding child sex trafficking. I don't know how you take it any other way. It's huge. You can make lots of money in it. It sounds like he's talking in terms of like a pitch. You can make $10,000, $500 per child. The number of children that would have to go missing to make it profitable on the level of oil, though, like the audience, the wealth of the, I mean, honestly, it's like when you hear that somebody has a $3,000 a day of coke habit. You ever heard that story? Like at that point, I had a $3,000 a day coke habit. And you're like, asshole, you make $5,000 a month. What are you talking about?
So there should be a massive focused effort in this country and around the world to end child sex trafficking.
Agreed. I would argue that there is reason to look into this dude. Seriously, it looks like the magician's left hand.
Pedophilia, to end the use of children, their body parts, their blood, as it relates to satanic rituals. And I don't think...
Dude. First of all, is it adrenochrome or do they just need them for spells? And if the spells are worked, wouldn't Hillary have gotten elected?
Have fetal tissue in a vaccine. I wouldn't touch that vaccine with a 100-foot pole.
With a 100-foot pole. So it has fetal tissue in it. Mm-hmm. Well, that's it. That's the end of it. He's just giving you the look. You know, he's got that look. Christ almighty. Q is pushing the blood libel. Absolutely. I mean, you got to look at from their perspective. They are, they're viewing this as there's international money changers behind this. That's all anti-Semitic Jew code. And it's proof that Trump isn't to blame. He's just there to help out. He's just there, he's just doing his thing. And he's trying to stop it. Hold on. Wait, what the hell was that? Just found something and I was like, it was a flash on the screen of in one of these other videos of, oh, I see. I see. They were live streaming their own live stream. So I switched over to look at that right side media gathering, right, about Trump. And it popped to this frame and I was like, what the hell is happening there? Like, there's if you look at this, you can see that's the volume slider. And then there's a volume slider right here and a rewind thing, which means they were doubling it up. They were running it through 3 channels in case one of them gets shut down. That's how they're doing it. And it just jumped out into this Brady Bunch shot. And this is, by the way, Trump does a drive-by, I guess. And everybody's like, I did it. And they're like, please stand by, it's coming. And they either missed it and rolled back and showed it. Yeah. Okay, so here he is. People are yelling, everybody knows you won, even the locals. Geez, the complete egomaniac with delusions of with an inferiority complex and delusions of grandeur, found out a bunch of people had been arranged to come and stand on a corner for him, and just said, "Well, I'm not golfing right now. It's too windy. So let's roll down there and see the flags." What do you think? He's got better things to do? Dude, you're blocking it with the Trump flag. We're trying to see him, and it's spelled backwards. What is this? A satanic spell? Honestly, that's a very cheap Trump flag. It should show. Any printed flags should. American flag should always be facing. It should have a proper direction, front and back, where you know which side you're seeing is front based on where the square is. But word flags, you two-ply those suckers so that you can read them both in their mind. Jesus. That's him. There he goes. Or at least that's a rubber mask on a Secret Service guy doing a lap. People are playing a boombox. We're walking along. They're just banging each other in the head with their flagpoles. What are we going to do with them? They'll all fade out. These are NASCAR fans. It's the same bullshit. Seriously, folks. Don't get too caught up in thinking these guys are, that the Trumpsters are around forever. They'll morph into something else, but they're not. I mean, there's a bunch of, believe me, he's going to get boring. That's what he has to fight. More than anything else, Trump has to fight the fact that he is dull. He's not interesting. I mean, look how old some of those folks are. This is just like the aging Fox crowd that really bought it. I mean, there's some young people in there too, but they're with family members. It's debatable whether they're real or not. There's a lot of middle-aged dudes with beer bellies. Christ almighty. Hold on, is this in here? I think I can turn that part of it off now, and then it will all work through there. Maybe. I have to turn this off, and then this will work. Okay, yeah. I feel like it's getting too loud. I turned the volume down because it's just intolerably weird. And they left. Still filming. He's already over the bridge. That was amazing. We were there. I hear he's going to do another lap. He was trying to get gas at Sunoco and they had to leave. Up on the sidewalk, everybody, let's go. These poor guys. There you are, dear. Thanks. Yeah, sweetheart. Okay, there you go. Get it back up on the sidewalk. Oh, my God. We saw Trump. They're playing the We Saw Trump song. He saw us, and we saw him driving around, and I feel so dim. I never got my chance to vote for him again, 'cause I don't live here. Oh, there's a bunch of people wearing masks. Most of them photographers and videographers. You can spot them. Get on the sidewalk.
Cars are gonna start coming. You gotta get on the sidewalk, guys.
Buses are gonna start coming. You bet your ass they are. The lady's wearing her Trump Pence thing as a skirt. Seriously, no Lee Greenwood? Cars are coming. Get on the side. That was amazing. Can you imagine? Look, It's kind of cool to see a former president. It's, I get it when you're like, if you like the politician, but get out of the goddamn street. Seriously. That level of excitement is embarrassing in that situation. Even Obama, like I've seen Obama a couple times when they've driven by or whatever. I'm not going to step into traffic to wave. Maybe that's the sensibility quotient that's involved in this. All right, I'm going to, did you guys notice the extra special stuff that I made for you guys in all these things, including the little frames and all that kind of stuff? I'm going to keep working on this, try and improve on it as we move forward. Fingers crossed that things will work over the next couple of days, and we'll expand on that. And I pray. It's 2021. Not all bus people are bad. I know, I've taken a bus a lot in my life. At one point, Chris Bono and I couldn't get a rental car because they were all sold out, so we had to take a bus between gigs. And it was, it was a lot. During, when my dad lived in Chicago, my mom lived in Kentucky, and I used to go back and forth because of custody, I had to take the bus to do it because we couldn't afford planes. So I took a bus from Frankfurt to Indianapolis. And then let's see. Then I got on another bus that took me to Joliet, and my dad would pick me up at the Joliet station. We called it the Exchange of Prisoners. Benny Loco, when are you going to help me sort out my channel? I would be glad to. I love the bus in Chicago going to the zoo. It is great, yes. Why are people still connecting Pence with Trump after Trump was hoping Pence may have been hanged by his mob of idiots? They're just wearing the flags. They bought that stuff, and they hate his guts. And if you'll notice, they're all carrying the Trump 2020 flags. There's not a lot of Trump Pence flags left around. There's just people who, that's what they bought initially, right? So the Blues Brothers were Joliet. This is very true. So I'm going to, since this worked out actually, and some of the new background stuff is there, I'm going to go take a shower, which I never got to do after I got back from the gym because I was crowbarring this show back into existence. I'm going to make a couple of tweaks, and then tomorrow we'll be up and running normally at the regular time. Sorry I was late today. It was because I had to literally restart my whole system, and it took a minute. And when I did that, it shut down some of the audio linkages and blah, blah. It was just a lot. So anyways, I fixed it, and we should be good. I'm gonna tweak a little bit on that tonight, just make little changes, and then we should be able to run the show tomorrow pretty smoothly. I know, I like the background. It's nice. It's pretty subtle. I made that myself. I got some Photoshop skills. That's that little electrical spark thing. That's from the warning signs, and now it's got a little background for the mug. I think that works. So for when people fill the tip jar, it gets like, it has a little bit of lighter color behind it so you can see what's going on. And then I'm going to slowly but surely add variants of the actual, the different versions of this so that we can have a little bit of variety show to show, just for fun, because we can. There we go. But anyways, and this is all just, 1920 by 1080 Photoshop files that end up being, that I can layer in front of myself and behind myself and all that kind of stuff. And while I'm fixing the computer and getting that solved, because I'm back running on the laptop, which overheats because of what's required for video. As I replace that and we build a better system, thanks to your guys' support, patreon.com/HalSparks, I'll try and make other tweaks that will make up for the fact that I may have some technical issues so that I'm not letting you down as far as quality of show. How I make adjustments to the promotional sliders, etc. when you have new looks too. Oh, thanks, man. Good work. Keep it up. Keeps you busy. We're in awe. Good night. Oh, thanks, Tony from Ireland. We'll reset this. We're going to have some fun, especially over the next little bit, because there's going to be some lawsuits filed. I'm looking forward to the next big story is either Georgia or New York filing stuff against Trump, and the depositions are going to come out. It's going to be a good time. But we're going to have to keep our eye on Rand Paul and Ted Cruz and that crowd to make sure that they don't actually they're not allowed to stew in the delusion that they actually have a shot at 2024. They need to go into that image-wise covered in all the garbage that they've left in a trail behind them. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm for it. This is now the mission of my show now is is mission 22. Is it? Wait a minute. Hold on. There might be. I got to look this up real quick. Hold on. I think it might have been 21, but we'll see. Waiting for. Yeah. We're now waiting for 22 is a Queensryche song from Operation Mindcrime. Right on this. Hold on one second. I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's amazing. So I mean, I'm a huge fan of Operation Mindcrime, but if I can do a version of a song that sounds similar to Waiting for 22 as our launch song for 2022, I'm gonna, all that stuff and that jibber jabber you were hearing from Marjorie Taylor Greene about call all your constituents and basically threaten them if they're not doing exactly what you say because you pay their salary, that horse shit. We're gonna be over here doing the exact opposite, bringing people in, making people feel safe and recognizing that competent government is nothing to be afraid of. And we're going to focus on winning 2022 so that you can make the positive big changes that these people may eventually, in a couple of generations, recognize was actually beneficial in their lives. Call me crazy. Yeah. How do you get notifications from Patreon? I have to check it. They don't send me notifications in that regard. So if I've missed something, I apologize, and I will check it and see if you left a message for me. So thank you. And I did see somebody post about their mug, and I was going to say if anybody's gotten their, and I ordered, like we had a couple of people who for whatever reason didn't get the stuff they won on the sweepstakes. Like when I do the little raffles. So that's supposed to be from their end. They're supposed to send you an email. Check your junk folder. Make sure you got them because I don't actually control that. It's just part of Streamlabs. But if somebody ends up finding like, oh, I can never find that link or they never found it, I will just send you one if you won one of the raffles. I'm just waiting for them to send me stuff so that I can remail it. I'll just ricochet it out to you. So there you go. But I adore you guys, and it's so hard for me not to just start going, no more sleep today. I can't pretend when all my dreams are crimes. I can't stand facing them. It's waiting for 22. So I will. I never got my prize from election night raffle. Sweet Mel. Okay, so that's. Please check your emails that are linked with your account on there because, like I said, they handle that. That's not me. I don't. It just goes straight through to you guys. I'm not a. I don't. It doesn't normally bounce through. So please check your junk folder and see if they sent you a "Hey, you won" email in the email that's associated with your account on Twitch. I hope that helps. And everybody else who has gotten a mug or a shirt in the last little bit, thank you guys so much for getting merch. It's a brand new thing that people are doing, and I thank you guys, and I'm hoping to see you guys at live shows, wearing them or bringing your mug so that I can fill it with chocolate kisses, because I think that's what we're gonna have to do. I think I'm gonna have to bring bags of Hershey's Kisses, and anybody who brings their mug to a show, we're just gonna fill it for you. There's something like that. Check your junk. I think there's that in and of itself, Anthony, should in and of itself be its own thing. Oh, a level 1 hype train. We're almost out. So we got 27 seconds for a last hype train before we leave for the show. Do you think it's possible? Is it? Could it be? Everybody cheers and bits and subs and gifts and whatever we've got 14 seconds, 13 seconds, 10, 9. Probably not going to make it then. I'm going to guess we're going to fall short. That's fine. I'm cool with that. I will see you guys tomorrow at the regular time. I adore you. Thanks for sticking around, and thanks for understanding that I was a little bit late today. We will be on time tomorrow, and I will hopefully, depending on the remnant story, have a vaccination story coming your way. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Missed the train. Wah, wah, wah. But okay, I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. Bye.